and continue to grow and learn each other and see what each other needs and continue.
I think it's been good. I think it's probably just still more at putting time in and more sexual encounters. Like I think it'll keep increasing for me for sure. But it's on the right path, definitely.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book 91. You already know what time it is. It is super panel time. Yeah. Listen, you've watched Married at First Sight. You've got your opinions. You got your thoughts. You want to be able to say what you want to say because this episode was all that and a bag of chips. Yes, this episode was crazy. Why? We saw Thomas and Camille having a discussion about going down on each other. And one thing we definitely know is Camille isn't going down on Thomas. We also had Madisson and Alan, and they had a whole beef section where obviously Alan, said some incredulous words about Madisson and his opinion about her. And she took it to heart and ended up going out and staying out to 2 p.m. But hey, she's not a party girl, she says. So, Alan was clearly wrong for that particular perspective, even though she was at the bar to 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. Then we obviously have, JUAN and KARLA. And JUAN and KARLA, that brother could be at the farthest region of the earth. I mean, he could be as close as he wants to be close to KARLA as he wants to be, but he's never going to ever see her that way. That brother, I am looking at him like he's sus a little bit, okay? But I'm gonna reserve that thought process. He just doesn't fancy KARLA. But I've never seen a brother be so distant with somebody, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, if you don't like her at all, you don't find her attractive, just let me know. And he's letting us know. That brother don't want to touch her. He don't want to smell her. He don't want to taste her. He let the other woman put a feather on his body. That's when that let me know this brother ain't interested in this woman at all, in the slightest or in the bit. And then we also have our famous couple, Michelle and David, as well. Okay, David has lied. Michelle caught him in the act, called his cousin, got the truth out of the cousin, and has handed him a notice that he is a liar, a cheat, and a scumbag. Listen, this episode was full of dramatics. Yesterday night, we had a live with the Mandem where we spoke a little bit about, obviously, the Thomas and Camille and Michelle and David. We went to war with one another. We debated. We had different points of view. Many people had their own points of view in the chat as well. And so today, obviously, when I invite more people onto the stage to have their say, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what the rest of the people are going to say today. Well, before we get to those festivities, I want to let you guys know, first and foremost, please do me a massive favor and like this live, share it, and subscribe. Let me say it again, like the live, share it, and subscribe. I want to let you know, listen, February is about to be crazy on this channel. We're going to be having lives all over the gaff, and I can't wait to have you guys involved. So if you have not joined the membership, please join the membership. Okay, please join the membership. And the reason why is because I want to let you know that we're gonna have a lot of lives, but I'm gonna make the members only in the chat. Okay, there's a reason why we have a members, and I think we need to start using it. I've always kept it open for everyone to be a part of, but this year we're going to be more exclusive. So if you are a member, it costs £1 and $1. I made it cheap because I'm not here to rob nobody. Okay, so if you are a member, fantastic. If you're not, become one, because when Ready to Love starts, when Love is Blind starts, when Married at First Sight continues onwards as well, when we have those panels, they are going to be members in the chat only. So if you're not a part of the membership, make sure you join. How can you join? There is a plus button at the bottom of the screen underneath the chat, and you press on that. You can say, there's a $sign, and you can click on it and you can join the membership that way. If it doesn't work, change your device. Sometimes it doesn't work because you're on the device you're on. Change it from the phone to a laptop to a tablet, whatever it is. Change your device and join the membership, because this is about to go into members only live right now. So Art of None says, how do you join? There's a $sign at the bottom of the chat. I want you to click on it. I want you to sign up, and I want you to become a part of the about the members. Someone asked what my Cash App is. Well, UK people can't do Cash App. So what I will say is, listen, I will accept, but I need a PayPal. Okay. We on PayPal here. Okay. We on PayPal. Okay. We on the PayPal as well. Okay. So I'm going to put this here for you guys. We are on PayPal. So if you want to send some cash through PayPal, by all means, send it your way. I would always accept a gift, not a problem at all, because what's coming this year, we're going to make sure we bring you some great content, some great lives, and we're going to have some fun as well on this channel. So I look forward to producing some great content this year, and I'm feeling refreshed. You know what I'm saying to you? I'm feeling refreshed. I took a whole year off. You know what's so funny? I just did my tax return, and I saw how much I made this year. I started crying. I said, I ain't made nothing. But you know what? I'm ready to go this year. I'm ready. I got to rest. The Lord told me to sit down. I've been in to rest. So we're going to be on content galore. We're going to go back to what we used to do back in the day. Remember back in the day? Remember COVID times? I was on it. 80 videos a month. I won't be doing that. But, that was a good time. All right, cool. Shout out to Art of None. Is it None? How do you pronounce it? I'll be killing people's names because I was reading it as Art of None Your Business. So shout out to you for joining the membership. It's appreciated as well. Love for that as well. Welcome to the team. We're about to go members only in the chat. I can see a couple of people behind the scenes already are ready to chop it up tonight as well. I got my star player behind the scenes as well. You know her. She's only got one way, and you know what way that is. So I can't wait to have her on the panel today as well, because I know she's going to be opinionated and ready to do what she's ready to do. Okay, she's going to let you know what it is. Okay, so before we get to that stage, please, if you're in a live, make sure you guys are liking the live. Like the live. Okay, like the live. All right, it helps with the algorithm. Okay, all right, it helps with the algorithm. It helps to make them know that this is the place to be. Okay, all right, don't let me start doing a Philip Mitchell and start doing a passionate plea to get you guys to like and share, subscribe, and tell you I didn't ask for no money, but then I actually did ask for money, but I didn't ask for money, but say I was praying for favor. No shade, but every shade. But listen, we want to have you guys on this channel, a part of the team once more again. Also, if you haven't done so, listen, we're going to be on Monday nights. We're going to be on TikTok. Yes, on Monday nights, we're going to be starting a new thing on TikTok where we're going to be having conversations on TikTok about relationships. I love TikTok, and I can't lie to you. It's crazy over there, but it's like how do we say it? It's like Clubhouse on crack. But, it is a good time, some fun. And if you still got TikTok downloaded on your phone and you didn't throw away your TikTok, then make sure you join us on TikTok on Black Muscle 91 Monday nights, 5 p.m. EST if you're in America, 10 p.m. UK time for us as well. I might open up a second slot if it gets successful, which I think it will. We'll open up a second slot as well. And then my final announcement as well is I haven't done one for next month, but at the end of the month, February, I think it is. Yes, my last. I usually do it at the beginning, but I'm going to do it at the end. On the 27th of February, we'll be having our monthly meeting. I say monthly meeting, but it's our little 100 club, and where we get to discuss behind the scenes. Okay, so if you haven't joined our 100 club, you need to join the 100 club. We have I don't call it offline because it's literally online, but it's offline. We get to discuss relationship stuff behind the scenes. And it's all fun. So if you love what we do on the panels, it's 100 times better when you're on the 100 club. So if you haven't joined the 100 club, there is a link in the description box, but I'll send one in the chat as well. Make sure you join that. You can join it two ways. You can actually become a member. You can become I always got in my head a patron, and that's another way to do it, and it can just be running all the time, or you can join us every month and just sign up through Calendly, and those links are in the description box as well, but I'll send those into the chat as well. Remind you guys as the show goes on. Look, my announcements are done. Okay, my announcements are done. All right, we are going to be on this show now talking about Married at First Sight. First of all, in the chat, if you're here with me, it's about to go members only. So if you're not a member, I did all the announcements so you can join us. first. Remember to join us in the membership so you can be a part of the conversation today, okay? Because it's about to go members only right now. Fantamalisto, it is now members only. So if you're not a member, you cannot comment in the section as well, okay? All right, so it's time for my members, for my panelists to come up here and wrestle it out tonight, okay? And I'm gonna really be, adjudicating today. So I'm gonna keep it quick and fast. So if you talk too long, I will cut you off and be, let's keep it snappy, let's keep it snippy, let's keep it quick, and let's keep it beautiful around here, okay? So first and foremost, I want to invite to the stage. You know who he is, okay? Now you may have disagreed with him many a times, okay? All right, from the north to the west to the south to the east, you know who it is. Easton, welcome to the stage, my brother. How you doing? How you doing?
That was a beautiful introduction. Hi, everybody. The future panelists, the chat, how's everybody doing? We're gonna have a good one because justice for Thomas. Justice for Thomas.
Justice for Thomas, indeed. I can't even lie to you. He needs all the justice he can get. Shout out to you. All right, cool. So our next panelist that is coming up to the stage, you know who she is, okay? She's always locked and loaded, and of late, she's been shooting, and I can't lie, she's been hitting some stuff, I'm saying? She should be hitting some stuff, but I'm saying? She shoot, and I like the fact she gives like a very nuanced perspective, I'm saying? Because she's experienced many things, and she is an avid traveler, and she has traveled onto this particular platform for us today. So shout out to the one and the only Latoya, baby.
Hi, thank you for that. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing? You good?
I'm good. I'm ready to talk about it. Let's get into it.
I like to hear the energy. Says you like to talk about it. That's what we want to hear. Okay, our next person coming up to the stage. Listen. She was here last night, and I can't lie to you. Okay, she didn't just tie up her husband, she tied up the competition as well on the panelists as well. Okay, she gave Camille a run for her money. Okay, last night when we were hearing noises like you know what I'm saying to you. So welcome to the stage, Jenny, baby. What are you telling me, Jenny?
Hello, everyone. My husband is free, and everything that's occurred is at will. But I did want to say Madisson is not beating the fast-ass party girl allegations. She will not beat it. I'm sorry. And Juan, I know he's only on this show for free food. I know it.
I appreciate you, Jenny. Shout out to you. And we will need to see, evidence of signs of life before we can believe you. But I absolutely love the fact you're on the panel today. So shout out to you. Our next person on the stage. Listen. Long-standing citizen. You understand what I'm saying to you? Long-standing citizen. A man who's dedicated to the cause. A brother who joins us from wherever he is in America. Okay, all right. This is a brother that is dedicated to traveling around the world for us. And he is here today, situated at a beautiful place where I have no clue where he is, but the Wi-Fi is working. Okay, all right. And he always gives us a great story and a great monologue. And so you know who the brother is. Welcome to the stage, Trey, baby.
Good evening, greetings from Laredo, Texas, the border. I gotta make sure I don't get, deported, not be able to come back. Crazy right here right now. Woo.
You can easily be mistaken, brother.
Man,
you can easily be mistaken. Be careful.
It's crazy out here.
Before you know it, you'll be on the wall. So be careful. Our next person coming up to the stage. Listen, a sharpshooter. You know what I'm saying? A veteran in the game. You know what I'm saying to you? This is somebody who knows all about the dark arts and the sleight of hand. Don't play with her. You know what I'm saying to you? You play with her at your particular risk. Okay, I call her El Diablo. Okay, say her name 3 times, she's gonna appear. You know who she is. El Cid, baby. What you telling me, El Cid?
3 times will be the Candyman. Though I will horrify some folks tonight, I will not appear where they are. I'll stay on the YouTube streets. But thank you so much. And yeah, I am Team David, and y'all can hate me from right now. Okay.
I'm with you. I can't even lie. I'm with you. Our next person coming up to the stage. Listen, usually I would leave him to last, but you know what? I'm tired of him. Okay, I'm tired of him, and I'm tired of his shenanigans. Okay, this brother has been a bane in my side. In fact, the Bible said he's been a thorn in my side, which the Lord has not removed. There's grace for him. Okay, he's sitting at the table at the Last Supper with all the disciples at this point. Okay, this is a brother that gives a benediction like nobody else can and nobody else will. Okay, he's on the P's and the M's. Okay, he's on his journey, and he's on a more holistic, wholesome, how do I say, livelihood now. This is our brother and resident Sean, baby. Hey. What are you telling me, brother?
You know why that thorn is necessary, right? For growth and a constant reminder to do better. And that's what I'm here to do. Make sure we do better.
I hear it, bro. I hear it with a passion. Listen, you know what? Let me even, properly get a sound effect going. You know what I'm saying to you? It's the heartthrob of the panel, okay? When she's missing, they are always asking where she is. Not only has she left the panel to go and start her own thing and become a superstar on another platform, she's also willing to be humble and come back and grace us with her presence. Now, you already know there's only one way when she's on the panel, and it's CWAY, gladiator of the panel. Welcome, baby. What you telling me, CWAY?
What an intro. I love these intros. Yes. Hey, guys.
Hey.
I'm propped up in the bed today, so I'm comfy. So I'm ready for war, El Cid.
I love it. Listen, I'm ready to go because I think this is going to be a great show. I think there's going to be a lot of opinions and a lot of different thoughts. And I'm sure we will have an entertaining conversation. So I'm going to keep everyone to 2 minutes though. Okay, I want the conversation to pop. I want it to fly. I want it to be entertaining as well. Okay, so 2 minutes max. Everybody's response. Keep it short and snappy. Okay, so let's start strong because let's be honest. The main thing that we really want to talk about is either Thomas and Camille or David and Michelle. You know what I'm saying to you? So I'm going to ask the audience which two they want us to speak first. So if you're in the chat right now, because it's members only, if you're in the chat right now, who do we talk about first? Thomas and Camille? Or are we talking about Michelle and David? Give us a little hint. If I see a few answers, I'll take it and I'll apply it to to my panelists because I think either one of those two is a strong starter. You know what I'm saying to you? Either one of those two is a strong starter for how we're going to start this conversation with the panelists. Because I think, last night we covered a lot. And I've seen some comments about Sean being the greatest man on the earth and all his integrity and all that kind of shenanigans. So to be honest, I'm pretty much sick and tired of him. All right, cool. We're going to start with Thomas and Camille. Thomas and Camille is where we're going to start, ladies and gentlemen. Thomas and Camille is where we're going to start. We've got 200 people in the room. First and foremost, we've got 200 people and it's climbing, but do me a massive favor. If you haven't done so already, make sure you are liking the live. You're going to share it with somebody and you are subscribing as well. And don't forget, next week, Ready to Love begins on a Saturday. So we'll be having our panels as well. Love is Blind is also happening. So I'm going to make sure I fit that in for you guys as well. But we're going to talk about Thomas and Camille. Thomas and Camille. Who would like to start off? In fact, I'm going to nominate the person because, our resident gladiator is on the stage and we haven't heard from her and we need to hear from her first to open up the festivities tonight. So, CWAY, I want to know your thoughts on Thomas and Camille because I know you've been strong on the Camille. So I want to know your perspective. What's your thoughts on Thomas and Camille on this episode?
Wow, starting with me, I actually kind of wanted to hear what you guys had to say first. First of all, can I just say Thomas is such a gem. Thomas is just such a blessing. Thomas is just such a sweetie pie. Every time he's on my screen, I'm just like, Camille, they actually tried to do something decent for you. They tried to give you a good guy. He's so patient. He's so kind. He's honestly what we asked for husbands, his patience, his kindness. I'm really a big fan. Camille has some more healing to do. I'm not saying that they're not going to be fine and they're not going to work it out, but Camille is a walking enigma. Camille is confused. She's not confused about Thomas. I think she's confused about herself. Camille wanted to do all the tantrics and the spanking and then this and that. And then she get down to Dr. Pia talk about she only go down when she feel comfortable. Camille, I'm confused. I'm glad that Thomas has patience with her. You know, maybe this is the guy for her because he has the patience for her. But Camille is just a walking contradiction, and she's back frustrating me again. She's back frustrating me. So I don't know. I think she's pushing it with Thomas. I'll have more to say in a bit, but that's just kind of my initial thoughts on Camille.
Yeah. Thank you, CWAY, for opening up the floodgates. Now, El Cid, I want to know your thoughts because, you know, we know that you and CWAY are eloquent enemies. So I want to know your thoughts on this situation with Thomas Camille. How do you see it?
Let's rephrase. We're not enemies. I'm sorry. Camille and Thomas won't make me an enemy of anybody. But in relation to their situation, we know Thomas been telling Camille this backstage. The fact that Thomas brought it front stage, in front of Dr. Pia, in front of the cameras, Camille ain't getting the message. Or she getting the message and just refusing. The man has been putting in the work. Reciprocity is the least. We said it before when she made him run laps. She's going to punish this man. She's going to keep on punish this man. He is doing above and beyond, and he's still getting punished. He can't even get a relaxing massage. That's how much punishment he's getting. So my thing with Camille is, Camille, do you want to keep this man? That's my first question. Because the behavior isn't giving, I want to keep this man as my husband after 8 weeks. But Thomas, the kind of behavior pattern, I'm sorry, the kind of behavior pattern I'm asking, I'm vocalizing what I need in the relationship. I'm not getting what I need in the relationship. And someone like Thomas may either step out or step away. So I'm sorry, this whole thing, Thomas is vocalizing, telling her exactly what he needs, and she's refusing. So, you know, she gonna get what she paid for, I guess.
Interesting. Now, obviously, I want to pass the cup over to Sean. You know, so we're going to pass that cup over to you, Sean. You've been a staunch fighter against Camille these past few episodes about the way that she's behaved. So I would love to know your perspective on Camille and how you see it as well, since we're passing the cup over to you.
Yeah, I think this is just yet another example of Camille being a taker and not a giver. And unfortunately, here we are where she's willing to take and not willing to give, to Thomas in, a sexual nature. And I just think it's emblematic of problems to come if Thomas doesn't, really put his foot down and say, listen, we need to have some level of balance in our relationship, because all she does is take. She done jumped up on that man's back like she's a toddler. She's a full-grown woman jumping on his back like that, banging on him with that massage gun. It's like, I think she gets off on just stressing him out and putting him through some type of torture. And I don't think it's cute. She's not a 2-year-old little girl. She's a grown woman. And I just think she needs to knock it off and, realize that she has a husband that's invested and wants to work on this relationship, and just kind of like, come on, enough is enough. So justice for Thomas. It's time. It's time for Camille to knock it off. He made it through your black test. He's made it through all these other hoops and hurdles you want him to jump through. Now it's time for you to show up and make some concessions, because it's just this whole season, all we've heard is, I want him to be this. I want him to be that. I need him to do this. I need him to be a safe space. What are you doing? How are you showing up? What accommodations and concessions are you making for Thomas? I need you to come on, put your big girl panties on, and let's act like, you know, you want to really work on this relationship and yourself.
Appreciate it, Sean. Thank you. Now, Easton, I need you to sell me something about this situation, the same way they sold Jesus on the river. What's your perspective on this situation with Thomas and Camille?
For all the baddies in the chat, you know that you never want to be a guy's first baddie, and all the guys know you never want to be the girl's first good guy or nice guy. And I think that happens to be the case with Camille. Thomas might be Camille's first good, solid dude, and she don't know how to handle him. She don't know how to treat that man. I'm disappointed in her tremendously, but I'm extremely proud of Thomas because he is showing us what, and we can get into David. We'll get into David later, but he's doing the exact opposite of what David is doing, and he's being vocal about where portions of his relationship is being lackluster. I'm sure that I guess since it's in the forefront now, he's probably said it behind closed doors, and I'm also glad that this platform created a space for him to share his story, because there are a lot of people who are just like suffering in silence, and this isn't like the end of the world. I mean, I'm not here to like shame anybody. This isn't the end of the world, but I know that there's people out there on both men and women's side who are suffering in silence, and it doesn't have to be just because a lack of intimacy. It could be anything, but the platform created a safe enough space to where Thomas felt as a man he could share his side of the story. But Camille, absolutely terrible. I'm so disappointed in her because it was getting boring. I was like, oh, everything's going great. Things are working along smoothly. But I think her own personal biases and preferences are going to get in her way. And that is a tale as old as time of what you might want supersedes what you might need. And since we have our own choices to make, sometimes we make the wrong choices. And I think that might be the case with Camille.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Easton. So, Trey, I need you to be as short as the trucks that you're driving. It's not very short, but I need you to keep it short. 2 minutes you got there. Hit us with something. Give us something. We need to understand the diatribe, but we need it within 2 minutes. Talk to us about Thomas and Camille.
Listen, messing with a wannabe city girl will have you wall sliding. You're about to see a little bit of it. Okay? I feel it's going to be diabolical. This poor man has been pouring everything that he has into this relationship. But we've all seen this. And he hasn't gotten it in return. It's sad work. It's just sad work. There's not too much you can say about it. You know, she's pushing envelopes. On the flip side, he is letting her. Because, you know, you out here calling people out their names and stuff. Hold on. Even if it's in jest, you got to be careful with that. Because once it starts, it's a snowball effect. I mean, he just let that thing roll. And she was like, because right after, what did she say? Oh, just shut up. I'm like, ooh, okay. All right, bro. You about to be her bitch for real. That's all I got to say for now.
Thank you very much, Trey. Now we're going to go to our resident ladies as well. Jenny, if you're not too tied up, playing house, we'd love to understand your perspective with Thomas and Camille. Maybe you can teach her one or two things.
Camille gonna want to boss me around, and I cannot. I think she's the mommy drill sergeant. That's all I get from her. She wants to son Thomas rather than having a partner or possibly a leader in her marriage. She wants to bitch him, and at the same time, she wants him to be a leader. So, sorry for the curses, but I was very disappointed to hear how she isn't being reciprocal in their relationship. And I agree, free Thomas, because justice for Thomas. There's no reason that the only time he feels comfortable speaking up about what he's not receiving is in front of Dr. PIA. because Camille mentioned, oh, I didn't know this. I never heard it. What conversations are they having? Because it seems as though Camille makes sure to state her case, what she wants, what she needs, what he's not doing, what he needs to do. And Thomas, he's going to have to step up in that regard. And I don't know if I agree that, I mean, Camille's a pretty girl, but I don't know if that's the only pretty girl Thomas has ever gotten. I mean, he may be the way he is now, but I mean, he was a young guy back in the day too. I don't think he's bad looking at all in his early 20s, his teens, all of that. I'm sure he's gotten pretty girls in his life, but maybe he sees Camille as the total package. But she has room to improve for certain. And I think she needs to soften up, just not a bit. She needs to soften up a lot. She's very aggressive, very domineering. And when she did that sumo wrestle move and jumped on his back, I almost fell out. I could not believe she wanted to crack that man's back. There was nothing sexy about that. I don't know if she's into like degradation or whatever and like putting him down or a sadist or whatever. But for some reason, I don't think Thomas is into that. I think we also have to be understanding of our partner. Things have to be reciprocal, and we also need to be in the similar space to get what we want. What you used to do with your little ex-boyfriends that didn't want to wife you up or your situationships may not be what you do in your marriage. And I don't think Camille actually knows what she wants. I think she's just playing this role, but seeing how she operated in that moment where she was supposed to be giving us spicy and sexy and it was giving cold water. Yeah, I think it's a joke. I think she wants us to believe she's a bad bee. She wants us to believe she's, a city girl, but it's giving suburban mom and carpool.
Damn. I hear it. Latoya, break us in a little bit, man. What's going on, man? We need to understand a little bit of this situation with Thomas and Camille. Give us a little bit of an idea.
Yes, well, I changed my photo on here to reflect how I was acting yesterday, and that she's just a lot for me. I'm not the biggest Camille fan right now. I think she thinks less of Thomas, and I think she can do better. I think she thinks she can do better than Thomas, and I just also think that she's immature. She walks all over him. I wish that he stood up for himself, because I think that would tone her down a little bit, because I think for people like her, she needs to see that she could be checked, but that this person will stay with her and work things out with her. And so I think because she's probably had experiences where people probably have abandoned her, she feels this need to let me control this situation. But I just think that she's missing out from not just letting him actually be the man. She often talks about how she always has to step up and step in and be the leader. She really doesn't have to. He is very, very capable. And when she messes this up, because I think that she won't choose him on decision day, I think what one Black woman don't want, a whole bunch of women will. And so he will not have a problem for the Black women, the real Black girl, the real Black baddies, after this show ends. So she better be careful, because right now she's really messing it up, and it is hard out here in general, and she's going to look back and regret not giving this amazing man a chance.
Fantastic. Okay, I got a question, but I want to keep everyone to about a minute or so responses, right? So we can keep it still popping. The question I'm going to ask you is first and foremost, if your partner calls you the B word, is this the slope that leads to the end of this relationship? I'm just wondering if your partner calls you the B word, and you can answer the question too of if your partner's called you the B word, because maybe we need to look at you and ask some real serious questions. You know what I'm saying, Chi? Has your partner called you the B word, so we can when we get a personal experience. I just know that I haven't been called the B word. You know what I'm saying, Chi? But maybe my disciples have. I don't know. I want to know the answer to this question. Is it over if you call someone a B word? Because that's what Camille did. So I want to get your thoughts. Keep it up to a minute. Keep it nice and short and sweet. Is it over? Yes or no? I want to know why, from your perspective, it is. And I'm going to go to the first disciple, Thomas. over there. Go to Sean. I'm kidding. Sean, tell us a little bit more. Is this over or not?
Yeah, it's a negativo for me. I haven't experienced it before, but yeah, it's a no. Especially the way she did it. Yeah, nah. And if she got caught up in the moment, I need an immediate apology and acknowledgement that we won't be doing that no more.
I hear that. Fair play. El Cid, is it over? If you call it a B word, is it over or is there more to it?
The way Camille said it, yes. But there are some names. I'm sure if she was rocking on the mic, he might take the B word and every other word that she says. It's how you call someone something. Now, if you put on the low voice, you put on the whisper, they may take that word from you and a whole lot else and curl their toes like Marcus. So the thing is how you use it. Now, as aggressive as she did it, that's the end of the relationship. No apology. No, I'm not calling you out your name. I'm not, you don't do that to me. But if that is within the boundaries of your bedroom, sure. It's all in how and where.
I love that response as well. Shout out to you because the response of rocking, one of the words we will definitely be using on this channel for sure. Since we're talking about mics, let me pass the mic over. Easton, I want to know from your perspective, is it over? Calling you the B word, is it over or not?
For sure. As a survivor of being called the B word by a significant other, yeah, you just think about it. You think about it religiously in your mind. It kind of burns in your mind, and you just like, dang. And it's like you try to figure out ways to kind of walk around it. Intimacy might, put a band-aid over it for a week or so, but you always constantly thinking about it. And also little things progress from that. So it's like, oh, I know I can get away with calling the B word. Then I get to saying other things or doing other things. And then it just kind of progresses from there. But yeah, she doesn't really respect him, but we kind of knew that. But yeah, it's all, but it's going to be over. I mean, I'm sure during the decision day, it'll be one or the other will say it's over with.
Thank you very much, Easton. And I'm so sorry you had to experience that.
Why are you crying?
All right, cool. Trey, talk to me. I want to understand your perspective. Have you been called a B word? And if someone calls you the B word, is it over? Because that's what happened with Thomas and Camille. Is it over? That's the question.
Oh, I've actually never been called the B word, at least to my face, that I know of. I don't know if I would ever get to this point, because these are the type of conversations I like to have before we even jump to relationships. How do we address one another? Because and I notice on myself, especially in a relationship, I usually don't curse at my girlfriend because this is just a sign of respect. I don't curse at her. So you start cursing at me, we gotta hold on. Who you talking to? So yeah, it's probably gonna be the beginning and the end. Like, no, nah, we ain't having that. It ain't going down like that. Nah.
Appreciate it, Trey. Appreciate it. CWAY, I want to know from your perspective, is that B word the be all and end all in this situation?
What I can tell you is that it's really not a good idea. There are times where in deep down in our soul, we really want to call you a BA nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are times we do want to say that, and we try not to say that because we know if we say that, it's hard to come back from, even though sometimes folks be acting like a BAN and you want to call them a BAN, but you can't. But just the B word unprovoked is wild. That's a whole, like, the way she did it was a whole just sign of disrespect. Now, I think most of us women can relate to wanting to call a dude a BAN when he was acting like one, but just a B just for no reason, you must hate that man. I can't relate to that. I've never just wanted to disrespect a man like that unprovoked. So, and if she says that to you, even if she let that BAN fly, we may have to pack this relationship up because she hates you. Sorry for laughing.
CWAY, that caveat of unprovoked. Don't think I missed that.
I heard it too,
That
and
was so unprovoked, though. That was so unprovoked. I do
very much.
So you mean you can be provoked to use it then?
That's what she's saying.
Yeah, like Nancy just said, like Tim, I may have to call you a BAN a couple of times, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, because that's what you acting like. That's really what you acting like. But you know, it's over regardless, whether it's provoked or unprovoked, or it's close to the end, unless you really apologize. Like, please, sorry, I didn't mean to. But you can't be calling no grown man no B word. I mean,
that's
I'm
right.
starting to lose faith. I must admit, this stuff is starting to depress me.
Yeah. Let's get Jenny in. I want to. Actually, have I gone to Jenny already? Jenny, I haven't asked you this question. I haven't asked you. No, I haven't asked you. The B word. You know, I mean, you know, last night we heard somebody being tied up. So, you know, can the B word be used? Is that allowed or not allowed?
It's a no for me, dog.
Okay.
I actually had a guy in college say I was acting like a B, and that relationship was dead before it. Rhapsody. I don't even, there's no room for that in my life personally. I don't think that has anything to do with dirty talk, being kinky, being freaky. The bitch is a little, especially when it's a woman calling a guy a bitch and you're wanting the guy to, excuse me for the language, but you're wanting the guy to give you a little more oomph. I don't think that's the word that's going to bring it out of him. If anything, he's going down. It's over at that point. Just wrap it up. And if you actually call him the B word or little b, which is worse, and he takes it, you have lost respect for him. At that point, you've put the check mark. Okay, I don't respect him. He's actually a little A, he's a little B, and there's that. So it's a no for me. And yeah, I can't even play like that.
Why did she look at him even feel that way, Kojo? And like I don't get how that was an intimate thing to say.
She was testing him.
She was absolutely
testing him.
And she put that on high and was trying to get him to react. So he said stop.
And he didn't.
She said stop. He said stop. He
wanted her to stop. He said, He said something. He wasn't what he should have said, but he said something. Gag in his mouth and everything. What's my safe word? Oh my God, bro.
That's
if you don't get He-Man and pull out them ropes up, nah. That thing bothered me, man. I was like, Thomas, don't do this, bro.
We're gonna ask another question in a second, so don't worry. Latoya, what's your perspective on this? The B word, is it over after the B word or not?
I'll put it like this. Almost 20 years ago, a man I was seeing, I called him that word as he was leaving my house, and I knew it was over. I didn't want him back. I was done. And so I said what I said. But so yeah, I don't think she respects him to even have the audacity to say that word. There is a lack of respect. And as far as if a man, I can't recall a man calling me that, but if so, like, full stop, I'm done. We don't have to talk, no explanation about it. Because again, if I know why I said it to someone, I'm going to assume you said it to me because you lack respect for me as well. So we're done.
Okay, definitely hear that. Definitely hear that. Okay, obviously I got one more question for the Thomas and Camille situation. So obviously, since you guys have said it's pretty much over, you know, calling someone the B word. What is Thomas to do then? Because obviously he's already been called the B word. So how is he supposed to address this situation? Let's have okay, this has happened now. Like, how would you advise him to move forward here? Yes, Jenny.
I was going to say, I think after the cameras cut, he had to get her together. I would hope and pray that he had a conversation, because if that's something I see in the chat, someone saying that that's used in the community that does all of this type of bondage stuff. If that's the case, he doesn't sound like he's in the community. So maybe he needs to be indoctrinated. Maybe we need to go over the vocab that we are okay with using. But if I were him, I would have had to say something once the camera's cut, like, hey, you're doing a bit much. You're trying to embarrass me. I don't appreciate it. I was offended. He doesn't strike me as someone who speaks up enough. And Camille also doesn't strike me as someone who creates that space for him to speak freely. But I will hope he checked her as soon as the camera's wrapped.
He didn't, though.
He didn't. He didn't. You know, I was gonna say, to me, in this situation, it's less about the word she used. He needs to have a conversation with her big picture. I think making it about the B word would actually like not really work, because she's gonna be like, oh, I thought we were just doing the you know, your kink shaming. You know what I mean? She'll make it something that it's not. It really is the fact that she has a kink for embarrassing him. He's like, he needs to talk about that. Like, what is with your kink fetish of like embarrassing me and dominating me? Like, I'm not the man for that. If you're into that, like, that's what he needs to do. He needs to talk about it big picture. Because she's about to she gonna run him off. And if he may not be traditionally ran off, he just gonna be in a corner like David with Madison. That's what he gonna do. He gonna just be somewhere else until he feel like leaving if she keeps this up. So
appreciate that. Thank you. Easton, what's your thoughts on this situation? What's he supposed to do?
The politically correct and constantly trying to improve version of myself is walk away, cut things off amicably, leave her as she be. That's what I would say. You know, I'm working on myself. But if you want the real, I think he has to. At this point, there's no level of dignity or any kind of dignity that he can scrounge up from this. She's embarrassed him on multiple fronts. She's talked about him being, I guess, quote unquote, like a white black guy. She's questioned his identity, essentially. She's questioned she won't reciprocate any of the sexual acts, the intimacy that he's requiring, or not even requiring, just requesting. She's been challenging him the whole way. And so, to be honest, there's nothing he can do from this relationship. He has to move on and try something else with somebody different. The problem is that Thomas really likes black women. You can tell that he really likes it. It's like the guy who like Alan, who might be really infatuated by Madison and her attractiveness. He's that level of attracted to Camille because she's black, and he really wants a black wife. And so he's willing to go through hell and high water to appease that, to make that happen. And all he needs to do at this point is just wash his hands from this and check his DMs, because I'm sure a lot of girls are looking for him, and he'll be fine.
Appreciate it. Like it. All right. Sean, what does he need to do?
Yeah, I think he just needs to set some boundaries with Camille, you know, sit her down and have a little conversation, because I think there's a part of her that thinks that she's better than him. And that's why she's acting out like this. And there's a part of her that sees him, you know, sees weakness in him. And that's something she's got to fix. So I definitely think he needs to sit her down and be like, hey, 1, we need reciprocity. 2, we haven't set any boundaries on name calling. So I'd appreciate it if you especially don't be calling me no little B. You know, it's not cute. And I'd appreciate it if you, you know, treat me with respect.
Solid. Trey.
The correct answer was to immediately, even if you don't want to do it on camera, to sit her down and have a conversation. The only problem is I feel like he's on a slippery slope, because I don't think he said anything. He just let it ride. So now we're talking about, well, everybody been speaking on this. We're going into a respect level now about this situation. She doesn't letting something small like this slide will only increase as time goes along. The respect is just going to go down. And his problem is going to be, yes, everybody's going to be checking. You know, he's going to have some women checking his DMs if this don't work out, this, and that, third. But let's just keep it real. He's also has shown the premise of letting someone demean him and call him a little B on national television. You don't think the next one going to roll through and do the same thing? You know, that's why I say it's a slippery slope.
All right, I hear you. I hear you. Let's slip and slide. Maybe let's slip and slide. El Cid, you're slipping down the slope. So, what's he supposed to do?
He's got two choices: keep on eating over the plate, and he's showing his skills on camera, so he may be advertising for the next woman, or he needs to stop eating and put her in a timeout. But if he keeps on going, he's accepting it. He's got to speak up. And my thing with Thomas is I don't think he speaks up enough for the person to hear him. Or, you know, maybe Camille just don't want to listen. But he needs to, you know, as I said in the chat, he either needs to pray over his food and keep on going or shut it down. That's it.
Definitely hear that. Latoya, what's he supposed to do?
He needs to just like kind of man up. I'm gonna just say it. Like he needs to man up by way of letting her know who he is and what he will not tolerate. Someone put in the chat like, oh, well, this type of thing is common in dominations, you know, all that submission stuff. But like, this was TV. So this is not like off of TV. We don't know to what extent, like, is this what she really, well, it does seem like she's on this, but there needs to be consent. He needs to say yes. And then they need to go over all the stuff. But on a basic level, like, it doesn't seem like that's what he's into anyway. And so that needs to be the first question. It's like, are you into this? And when he says no, he needs to be like, and also I'm not down for that word. And this is the kind of respect I want to be shown, not just in this bedroom, but just in general with you. Like, he just needs to check her. Like, he needs to check her like a dark-skinned man. Okay. And I said, I know you looked at me like that, but I did that more of like because that's how the world sees. But no, he just needs to get at her more aggressively.
Definitely hear that. All right, cool. So there was a question posed by Art of Noni. Shout out to you for a super chat. It says, in terms of attraction, do you think the dynamic between Thomas and Camille might be similar to Miles and Karen from the past seasons ago? So those of you who watched, obviously, Married at First Sight and have been a loyal fan, you will know that Miles and Karen, you know, Miles was liking Karen, but Karen was a couple of years older and she was kind of sunning him, you know, to the point where sex became one of the most difficult conversations, to a point she made it almost a situation in the kitchen. You know, so I want to get you guys' thoughts. You don't have to all comment on this one, but if you've watched previous seasons, you can obviously give your take. So I would love to hear some perspectives on this. Is it the same in terms of attraction? Yes, go for it.
I would say yes and no. I think Karen just didn't actually like Miles. Like, I feel like Miles's like demeanor made him very unlikable in like a catchy way, like a disdain way. Like, she seemed to have a bit of disdain for him. I don't think Camille disdains Thomas. I just think she thinks he's weak, and so she's trying to sun him. So I would say it's different. Where I would say it's the same is I think both of them are not their traditional types. And I think they're both a little like on the more mild manner side. And I think that kind of triggers a basic lack of disrespect. But I think Karen just really did not like Miles. So why she stayed, I don't know.
Let me get two more thoughts on this, and then we'll switch over characters from this to Michelle and David.
I think it's I think it's the same situation of like Karen wanted a dude who was more down, like a little bit more. I don't even know what the word to use, but it's similar to what I feel like Camille wants from Thomas. Like, he's just kind of like straight laced, you know, nice guy, you know, principal of a school. Like, you know, she wanted a little bit more edge, and I just think Miles wasn't like that. And as much as you know, sometimes because I think as women, we don't want to get hit with the, like, it's hard. He's a nice guy or whatever, but it's like at the end of the day, you like what you like. And she ain't like that man.
Go for it, Easton.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more of what she's used, or what Karen was used to attracting, and I won't say retaining, is not what Miles was. Miles wasn't a bad looking guy. He played football. He was everything. Check. He seemed like he was emotionally intelligent, or for the most part on the outside, he's done the work. I think it's a common tale that, you know, what we might see, whether it be in the chats or online or everything like that, and in reality are completely different. Karen wanted somebody completely different than maybe what she might have described to the experts, and that was why Miles got kind of sunned, because she doesn't look to him as the traditionally attractive person that she might have dated in the past. And I ain't gonna say this about all women, but some women, or maybe the women that I've dated in the past, you know, once you give them steak and shrimp, you can't go down to eating spam. And so if she's used to a certain caliber of guy in the looks department, it's tough to get her to be with somebody who's might be a little bit less attractive conventionally, or somebody that she might not see as attractive to her, although she might not have been able to like retain those other people for long-term relationships or whatever it may be.
All right, thank you very much. All right, well, listen, let's move it on, because we've obviously got to talk about other people on the show. We're going to talk about Michelle and David, but before we do as well, those of you who are in the chat, we've got 330 people in the chat. God bless you first and foremost, and make sure you do me a massive favor. Please like the live. It helps with the algorithm. It sends a good message to the algorithm to let us know that you are enjoying what you are participating in. Okay, and if you want to be a part of the chat, then make sure you join the membership. It's £1, it's $1. Use the $ underneath the chat. Join the membership. We'd love to be able to have you guys a part of the conversation as well. Okay, so we're going to talk about obviously Michelle and David. Before we do, make sure again you are liking and you are subscribing to the channel. Okay, well, you know, Michelle and David are probably going to elicit some different perspectives, because, you know, there are some different schools of thought on this situation. So I'm going to start with a question here, which will not be specifically about Michelle and David straight away. Okay, so I want to open up a little bit differently. My question is the cousin a snitch? Straight up. Just want to go straight into there. Bing, bang, bosh. Want to go straight in there. Is the cousin a damn snitch in the business? Okay, that's the first thing I'm asking. I want to get your perspective. Okay, CWAY says she gonna go, and then Elsie gonna go next. CWAY, is the cousin a snitch?
If this was not on national TV, you may have a better cause for calling her a snitch. But here's the thing. You're not getting me caught up in a preposterous, asinine lie on national TV, and I know it's on national TV, and you got a camera crew, and you want me to agree to a lie that you were calling food that I sent you sexy? This is national TV. Don't get me caught up in the lie. Now, if this wasn't national TV and you want to lie to this little white girl, okay, fine, whatever. Maybe she could have did a better job of covering, but like, clearly David be doing this. He's doing too much. You know how much you got to do to get to the point where you would involve your cousin with a lie on national TV? Was I surprised she told it all? A little. But am I mad? Am I going to call her a snitch? She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Don't involve me with no lie on national television.
Sid, talk to me.
Don't involve me in your marriage. I'm not answering the phone. Don't put me in the middle of this. That's between you and your wife. Why are you calling me? Whether I had the receipts or not, it ain't my business. That's your household. Manage your household. Whether the cameras are there or not, I'm out of it. This ain't my business. If you have a problem with what David said to you, then you need to handle it with your husband and what he said to you. Keep me out of it. Keep me out of the cameras. How'd you get my number? Did you go through his phone? How'd you get my number? Because my thing is, I only saw you at the wedding. How am I answering an unlisted number? I'm sorry. This is too wild. Keep me out your business, out your household. And if Pastor Cal passed you my number, tell him delete it.
All right. I didn't think about that. Sean, I know you have a different perspective on the situation. I want to know, is a cousin a snitch?
No, she's not. She ain't no snitch. He should have manned up and let go of all these lies, just like his basement being a one-bedroom apartment, amongst many other lies he's been stringing along since the beginning. He should have stood on his perch and manned up. And she is not a snitch. We're not 12. We're grown.
I don't lie for nobody. I don't. When did refusing to lie for somebody become a snitch?
I mean, did she have to lie? Could she not have just said it's not my business?
She could have deferred.
That's the whole point. Now, and that's what I'm coming to, Easton. We're coming to you now. You know, we're coming to you. Could she have deferred on that? Is she a snitch? What? Talk to me.
She is.
Give me something.
Although she's doing things for the right reasons or for her own purpose, to keep herself out of it and to make herself look good, fine. David, you shouldn't have lied. I'm holding you accountable today, and I held you accountable yesterday. You was wrong for lying, but she is a snitch, and I will go and revert back to the words of the great Vin Diesel in the movie Fast and the Furious. Family. They are family. I also, just a disclaimer, I watched the Aaron Hernandez documentary, and I think it's his cousin or his aunt. I think it's his cousin. She had cancer, and she held that man down with the car in the garage. She had to do chemo in the prison, and she held that man down. And just much like David, they're Puerto Rican, and she didn't fold like a lawn chair. She did snitch. Now she did snitch because for good reasons. I'm not for lying, so it's all good. But she is a snitch for the intents and purposes of this question. She is a snitch.
Jenny, talk to me. Snitch or no snitch? How you seeing it?
No, she's not a snitch. To be fair, he was trying to drag her into looking like she's a part of some incestuous family. And no, they're too grown. I think I could agree that maybe she could have deferred a bit, but you know you are an F-boy if your own relative is sick and tired of what you're doing. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Maybe she's lied enough for him in the past. I don't know, but I wouldn't say she's a snitch. Personally, she knows she's on international television. Like, once he broke it down to her and it was sounding crazy as hell, she knew she didn't want to be dragged into that because we already saw her. It wasn't like a relative we never met and she would just be on the phone. We saw her. So yeah, I wouldn't want to look crazy because at the end of the day, she has to protect her own reputation as well. And I mean, to agree with David, she would be stupid too. So you can't have two people being stupid.
That's a fair point. Latoya, talk to me.
So in my lifetime, I've had two women of Caucasian persuasion call me after their husbands gave me their number, to which I discovered that they were married. And so they wanted to know, was I in fact like what was going on, right? And so I just was like, lady, if you gotta call me, you already know. Like, because it doesn't matter what I did, which I did nothing. But if you have to pick up the phone, you already know what it is. So no, I'm not about to say nothing else. You already know. So by her even having to pick up the phone to call the cousin, she already knew you didn't need anything else. So no, I'm not about to give away anything else. And so I just was like, you need to talk to your husband. And thank you for letting me know he married. But you need to go talk to him. So I'm not going to do it. I'm keeping the cousin code alive and well because I ain't in it. I ain't in it. That's it.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Story was wild as heck. Hey, we have to circle back in a second or two. Trey, because we all want to know what the heck happened there. Trey, Want to get your thoughts, cousin, a snitch or not?
You know, I must have. I lived a different life at one point in time in life, and that's straight snitching. Man, listen, you get counseled. Your water might get cut off. You doing a mess like this. Oh man, listen. I'm sorry. Yeah. She kind of told. She told. You know what? I'm gonna take the snitching out of it. We civilians. She told. Because when you use the connotation,
what are you going through right now? You're killing me.
You know, I'm having flashbacks today. I'm like, oh my God. Just people running their mouths. Just why? Stop. It's not your business. Why are you answering? Elsie was so right. Because I think me and her talked about this the other day. I asked, how did she get her number? Because David didn't give it to her. How did she get a number?
The producers gave the number. You know who gave it?
It had to have been. Because they asked David, he said no.
She said she no that same day that David met her family. So she probably got her number and planned the call the whole time.
But why would you answer the phone? For what? Now, I'm beyond you. I got cousins I'm close with. I got cousins, you know, they cousins. We family. We would not be super close. But they ain't about to pull none of this number. Nothing. What? No. I'll tell you what else is going to be. Listen, you know, I don't know what's going on between y'all. I like you, but you're going to have to handle that on your own. I have nothing to do with this. Click. That's what's going to be the answer. All this bumping of the gums, hold on. Now, I got to go behind the scenes. We got to have a family powwow to fill out what's going on. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
We're family. We're supposed to be holding water for each other. What's going on here? If anybody, anything happens, I got your back. Something happened, you might need to hide a body, so I'm with you. But you can't be running your mouth. What's going on?
No. Now you've been too far. Saying. Now you said the whole.
I'm just saying.
A body's too far. A body's too far.
You won't let somebody put you in the incest story. My thing is, she said that she was willing at some. First of all, the problem with the cousin is she's providing too much information. If it would have been me, I'm not even talking about that I was gonna cover for him. Then I decided not to no more. That was too much information. I would have just said, I don't know about no picture. I would have did a mashup between what the cousin did and what El Cid did. El Cid said, because I feel like I hate when people do what El Cid said, because I feel like you're not being helpful. Like you're
I don't need your help in my marriage. Stay out my marriage.
No, I'm saying the person is asking you. Anywho,
that's not my job. That is not my job. You are my cousin by marriage.
I'm not going to be invasive on purpose. Okay, let me tell you what I would have
said. The person in the marriage.
Right. Let me tell you what I would have said. I would have said, I don't know about no picture, but I'm not in this. And I'm gonna call David and tell him to keep my name out of this mess too. Because Michelle ain't putting the name in it. He put her name in it.
That's true. But see, that's
you're so sweet. CWAY, you're sweet enough to answer the phone.
Precious.
I won't.
The best bet is, El Cid, is not to answer. Now, if you did get up, if you found yourself caught up on the phone, I'm saying this is how you do it, because you should be gosh darn if you let David have you looking like you in incest. Oh, hell no. I'm sorry.
If she called me and I answered on accident, you're breaking up. I'm gonna have to call you back.
Yeah, nah. I'm gonna answer the phone because guess what? You put my name on national TV and implicated me in some mess. We gonna clear this up on national TV. The same way you tried to lie on my name, sabotage my name on TV, I'm gonna clear up my name on TV.
And High Five says I'm confirming the guilt. Yes, in fact I am, because you put me in an incest situation.
And
all
guess
I'm
what?
saying is I'm not gonna say nothing else. I'm gonna say I don't know about no picture. Maybe he pictured it on his phone somewhere somehow. I don't know about it. Moving on. Don't put
I
me
need
in
to
no
teach
incest.
David a lesson. Don't ever use my name again, because I want him to think twice before ever implicating me in any foolishness. Because that's how people like him need to learn. They don't learn by coddling, covering up, trying to glaze over their lies. Nah, he needs to learn the tough way. Don't be throwing people into your BS. If you get caught in a lie, figure it out. Figure your way out of it, just like you figured your way into it. But I guess if you need to, you won't be using me as a reference anymore. And that's
Ain't
what I need.
the rule like when you gonna lie, I'm gonna call you first, Sean, and be like, Sean, I gotta use your name. Can I please use your name? And then if you ask me, then I would tell you, okay, fine, but don't use my name in nothing crazy. You need to think about, I'm not saying I wouldn't cover for my family member. What I'm saying is don't put me in nothing unprovoked without my permission. And then you want me to lie on something, because if you would have asked me, I would have came up with a better lie.
Exactly.
He did. And she told him, don't involve me. But guess what?
That's on him then.
David messed up. We know David messed up. We understand this. The problem with you said something, Sean. You got a point. The problem is the cousin is in it. You know why she's in it? Because she dry snitched. That's the only reason why we're talking about her now. She dry snitched. So she's in it now.
At the reunion. They would have had her down at the reunion if she didn't answer that phone call.
Yeah,
if she went along with the, she should have just went along with the lie.
Wait a minute. Here's a thought. Maybe David put her name in it. We don't know how much water David's been holding for that cousin. I mean,
come on.
We don't know. I could be holding your water, and all of a sudden now it's time for me to cash in that favor. And this is what you're gonna do.
I'm singing like a canary. Next time I'm singing like a canary. It was her,
that family meeting is going to be wild. I'm telling you, there's going to be a family meeting. There's going to be a family meeting. It's going to get wild.
I bet you it's not his first time though doing this, because I had a guy friend who would cheat on his girlfriend religiously, and the one time she thought that, well, kind of caught him, it was the time he actually wasn't cheating. So this was his moment to be like, Toya, I'm gonna get her on the phone, I'm gonna tell her. And I was just like, bruh, if it ain't this one, it's still a whole bunch of other women you cheating with. So I believe that this is probably just what he does, and he was very comfortable with hoping that his cousin would cover for him. But like you said, if she didn't answer that question,
you're cheating. That's my thing. I'm not judging your cheating. Don't involve nobody in your cheating. And what I recommend is, if you guys are out there cheating, that's a solo dolo mission. Don't involve nobody else in your cheating. Do that on your own.
And this create your lies ahead of time.
Better back me.
Create your lies early.
And we're talking
y'all better back me.
We're in high school, and it's a girl.
I've had to back people before. You've seen that. You remember? I don't like backing people. It puts me in an
You better back me.
I'll back you, but you're gonna piss me off.
You better back me.
On your own. Don't involve.
I got a whole bunch of sins. You better back me.
Who in the family?
I just keep my mouth quiet when clearly I keep my mouth quiet.
That's what I'm trying to say. This is exactly what I was saying. We know the truth.
But
that's what I'm saying. We know the truth. You wouldn't say anything, Sean. That's the whole point.
Wild word. Telling you. But if somebody calls me and said, Kojo said, Sean said, then we got a problem. Because now
I need you to
I'm gonna be
and call me.
I'm gonna be
that's
a
That's a do and call me. But Sean, you ain't gonna say nothing. You gonna be like, do. Let me call Kojo. That's what you gonna do.
Sean said, or I'm with Sean. Don't be like I'm with Sean. I will look at the phone and be like, I don't know who this person is, so I really don't be answering people I don't know.
You're not answering
me.
And
so you ain't gonna even be like, you're gonna be like, hey, listen, you're gonna be like, listen, talk to your boy.
I'm the CIA, the FBI. Get clearance before you implicate me. To see how I'm feeling on
I just feel like that's basic. I just feel like and he had time to get her permission too. The thing was, it wasn't a lie on the spot. He had the whole morning where he could have got her permission for that lie. Don't put me in nothing and don't ask my permission.
David don't care. David don't
That's true.
care at this point. He is done.
Well,
What
then,
we were
then who
asking
cares
him-
if she snitched then? Then who cares?
And
Let's
what we
put
were asking
everything
is the
in
principle-
context
it's
here.
it's the principle of the sin. Okay, that's why we're saying just keep your mouth shut. Just don't
Let's
say
put-
anything. But he don't
Let's put
care.
everything in context, though. Let's put
Finally.
everything in context. This started when it was on their way to her parents' house to have a sit down with him or talk or whatever. At that point, I don't think David even remembered that he sent her the message until she brought it up in the car. And at that point, it was, oh snap, she got the drop on us. My back against the wall. Help me. Yeah. He's like, literally scrambling. He was scrambling. He was scrambling. You saw it on his face. When it came out, he went, yeah. You know, I was sending my cousin some food or something, you know. Yeah, I just want to eat it up. Mm-hmm. What? Your cousin? Food? Huh? Yeah.
Chinatown.
I would have just told my cousin, if they call you, don't answer the phone. Okay? When she called, do not answer. That's what I would have just said. And
that's why I think he doesn't think that Michelle has the number. So
That's
he ain't looking to call the cousin to get backup.
During the after
Because
party,
she's not supposed to have the number.
During the after party, Michelle said they went to David's family after that meeting of Michelle's family, and she saw the cousin. Michelle ain't new to this. She asked that woman for her number. I'm sure she met the woman. Keisha asked her, did you bring it up to her? She said, no, I wanted to talk to David more about it, but I knew I was going to talk to her at some point. Michelle got that lady number right from her. And said,
Michelle's having a blast. I just want to say, Michelle, this is the happiest and the most content I done seen Michelle since she's been on this show. Michelle is having a good old time with this investigation.
And I ain't her. Integrity is integrity. Listen.
Because she think we
really?
fake for her.
Michelle?
We don't care.
I know.
We don't care.
Like her.
Michelle?
We don't care.
Yeah.
We have to give David a slap on the wrist. Bad, David. Bad. You shouldn't have did that. But we don't care about you, Michelle.
But
you know, sorry.
Chess, why are you lying at your big age? Who still lies? It's
David, but we don't care.
All of them on the show
We
are
don't care.
lying.
It's true.
But we don't
All
care.
of them.
There's so many people lying. You got people lying to themselves. People in the closet need to come out. People doing a whole bunch of a lot of people doing a lot of lying. A lot of
integrity with Michelle.
Now, CWAY, what we not gonna do?
Please.
You slip that on in there.
That's why you and her get along so well.
There's somebody in the closet every season. Every season, there's somebody lying to themselves. Every effing season.
You ain't gonna drag somebody out of some imaginary closet, right?
Oh, it's very
He's
cool. It's
gonna slip his slippery slope mentality into it some kind of way. Both of y'all, little agents of chaos.
She's trying to she's making an assumption about Akechi, but
I'm not. No, see, there you go. You misjudged. I'm not even talking about Akechi. He's not in the closet, in my opinion. That man just has a personality disorder and probably childhood trauma. But no, I'm not talking about Akechi.
Oh, Juan. Okay.
Yeah, and you know that man is.
We'll get to him. Okay, so back onto the serious topic now, because obviously David and Michelle. Thank you guys for participating. That was actually really funny. Obviously David and Michelle. Obviously their situation. Maybe another question I can ask in this situation is, obviously David has cheated, but do we care? Do we really care?
No.
I want a real answer. Do we really care?
This is
the way that Michelle treated her.
This is the only thing I care about.
And then Jenny will go after.
This is the only thing I care about. I've been saying this from the top of my lungs. I don't care that he cheated. I care that he was being fake. And this is what I would tell him if I bump into him down to the Target. But I ain't going to Target right now because I'm boycotting. So I have to bump into him on the street. Being fake is what I don't respect. If you've been texting Madison this whole time since y'all bumped into each other at the gym, why were you acting like you were trying to work it out? You weren't. So that's my thing. I just don't like that he was being fake. I don't care that he was cheating. And I don't like the lying. I don't like the lying, personally.
Okay. Jenny, you wanted to say something? Go for it.
Yeah, I would say, I kind of care, I guess. But the victim, if we take the victims out of it, or the alleged victims, and we just look at the person, David is on a show where he's supposed to be committed to someone for 8 weeks or however many weeks. Tell us if you want to be with them at the end of it. Why are you pretending and having this facade of wanting to be this great guy? I really like Madison. I'm trying. I love that she's so honest. You love that she's honest, but you can't be honest. I think it's an integrity thing, a moral character thing that I just can't get with. I don't believe in lying. I just don't. Like, just say, I don't want to be with you anymore and get out of here. But for some reason, we can't be open. We can't be honest. I agree. Michelle has pushed him away and all of that. But if everyone quits the show, there would be no show. But him at the same time, him lying, going off gallivanting with somebody else, that doesn't help the situation. He's messing up 2 relationships. What if Madison and Alan were going to figure something out? We got David in the middle of their marriage. We got David pretending to be in his marriage. So I'm not saying we care because we feel bad for Michelle, but there's no way I'm going to sit here and say, you make a commitment to be married to someone and it's okay to step out. No, there's no way I'm going to agree to that just because Madison is mean or Michelle is mean. Yeah, Michelle is being honest and she don't like that man and she really don't care that he's cheating, but she wants to know the truth. I will say it's a major character flaw to cheat on your spouse. Point blank, period.
Tag me.
Go for it. I think it's going to be an interesting question actually asked after this as well. So go for it. Yeah.
The original question, do we care? Nope. And don't. We don't care. He can cheat. We don't care because Michelle is insufferable. David, again, you are wrong, but we'll give you a slap on the wrist. But we don't care because Michelle is insufferable. At the same point of time, I think that David is really trying, and I can after listening to CWAY, I do agree. David is being a tad bit fake, but I think it's out of preservation of his own character within the show. I think that you see oftentimes with guys on the show, they can be honest and be truthful, i.e. Clay. You can tell her before you get to the altar, i.e. Ramses, and you still will be a villain. So it don't matter what you do, you gonna be the bad guy.
David has to be up, Kojo.
At the end of the day,
he's into a whole nother show now. Come on.
It's happening year after year where if you are somebody on the show, if you can be as honest and truthful as possible, you gonna get killed. They gonna leave book reviews. You gonna get your book gonna go from a 5-star to a 1.2 and reviews if you don't do something that they don't like. So all I'm saying is this show isn't the place to be your honest self and go ahead, fake the funk, David, be in your basement and keep lying to Michelle because she treated you terribly. You still are wrong. So we're going to give you a hand slap for that.
Yes, Sean, reply to our brother Easton.
10 minutes later. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say yes, it matters because, again, like I've said a million times, this is Married at First Sight. This isn't Love Island. This isn't Couple Swap. This isn't even Love is Blind. This is Married at First Sight. So, yes, you're supposed to be faithful whilst you're still in the marriage, despite how the person is treating you. We have mouths. We're supposed to be able to advocate for ourselves and be true to who we are. If I'm going to let the circumstances of how I'm treated determine how my character is, then I'm not ready for marriage, which I've been screaming from the rafters from the beginning. I know y'all want to defend him and coddle him and wrap him in a blanket of love. I think he is fraudulent and I think he's a liar. And I think it has nothing to do with Michelle. However horribly she's treating him, he should be able to stand up and be a husband and say, I don't want to be in this marriage before monkey barring onto another person's relationship with their husband, by the way.
And can I just say, if we take Madison out of it, David is texting other women. He dating Madison. He dating his wife. Well, attempting to date his wife. And he got like other shorties that he's taking coffee to. He wasn't ready to be on the show at all. He just wasn't ready to be married.
Michelle wasn't doing her wifely duties. That man, he couldn't get a kiss. he can get no type of intimacy. But hey, look, you gonna make me revert back to.
So what is the procedure when you're not happy in your marriage and people aren't doing their wifely duties? What's the procedure?
I think it's different rules for different people. I think it's different rules for different people. Ideally,
what's your rules? What's your rules?
You know, the more mature version of myself is just an amicable split and wash your hands. But we live in reality. We know how it goes. Some people are quiet and they'll just sit there and take it and be like, hey, I'm not gonna mess this thing up. Happy wife, happy life. And they over here cheating on the side. You have some people who maybe the husband is being abusive financially, verbally, physically, and she might check out. She's checked out. She over here emotionally tapped in with her work husband. It's a whole, people do a whole bunch of different things. I don't think there's a right answer. I just think that this is a show. And so what David did was, I'm going to try to keep my reputation as pristine as it can be. I know she dogging me. She don't like me. She keep talking about me. So I'm going to go where they like David in his basement. So like I said,
so there's nothing wrong in life and there's nothing right in life. We're just living.
And we're condoning cheating. That's wild.
Well, I heard
we're not condoning
right, there's
cheating.
Nothing wrong. That's what I heard.
Can we define? And I guess it's a level for each person. You got to define the cheating. For me, let us define: is he cheating? He is texting other people. Is he cheating? Because for some people, that's not cheating. For some people, liking an IG model is cheating. So can we define: is he cheating?
I want to eat you up.
I'm drinking coffee to other women I've dated.
I think I want to eat you up.
Now I feel like
cheating?
Ignorant.
What?
He's being vilified for a text, and I understand that. He was wrong for sending the text in the first place. Can we define? And I guess it's for each person, what is your moral high ground on that? He was trying at the beginning to be the husband for someone. Michelle clearly stated, I don't want to be your wife. You're smothering me. I don't want to be even living in the apartment with you. So you know what? He starts exiting stage left. How he exited stage left is real foolish. He was stupid.
Already went
he was
on
an idiot.
And said he was.
But he was exiting stage left. And Michelle lied in Pastor Cal's face saying the door is still open. So this moral high ground that David is worse and David is this and da-da-da-da-da-da. Michelle has got y'all falling for her little Karen tears of she is diabolical. I'm sorry. They're just a diabolical. And for David to be in their relationship, Madison let David into her relationship with Alan.
Are you done?
That's time. Thank you, Sean. That's time.
Yes, because I got to keep y'all timers because clearly Kojo's timer is on non-existent because I'm sick of y'all in this foolishness. Y'all want to sit up here and play around.
Real talk, David should have called her up on that, talking about some. He should have been like, "Why you lying?" Like,
because he don't want to do that. He just wants to cheat in peace. He don't want to correct this. He doesn't want to fix the relationship. He just wants to cheat in peace. And Elsie is basically saying what she said for 5 minutes. She said, "Let David cheat in peace." That's all I heard. So and there are people who subscribe to the cheat in peace philosophy. Let these people cheat in peace. I don't know. Maybe Elsie subscribes to that. I'm not sure.
So if Michelle acted like Alan, we would feel bad. We would say David's cheating was wrong.
I guess
I didn't say David's
absolutely,
right.
absolutely,
bingo,
absolutely. You're on the money.
You're on it, Jenny.
David emotionally cheating. So he's already defined it. He went on the after party and said he was emotionally cheating. He was texting.
I'm not saying he wasn't cheating. I think he was cheating.
And taking him coffee, whether it was Madison or not, he was still engaging with other women. We can't act like that's not cheating. Come on now.
Oh no, he was cheating, but like this kind of cheating is a different kind of cheating. This one, it goes out with fasting and praying. This was a different type of cheating. Like this one here, honestly, we make an exception almost in a sense for this kind of cheating because we understand the situation as the way it is. Like she didn't want him at that point. The relationship was pretty much done. You know what I'm saying too? So he cheated, but we understand the cheating. It's like we can empathize with that situation. You know what I mean? Had it been an Alan, yeah, we would have been looking at him like he's crazy because the woman would have wanted him, and so would have expected him to have a bit more, you know, of a conversation. But in this situation, we're like, yeah, we know he's wrong, but at the same time, we can really understand where he's coming from. But Trey wants to say something. Trey, go for it, Trey.
I just had a quick statement and question for Sean. On principle, I agree with everything you said. They'd agreed to get married. You're supposed to treat this with respect. You are in marriage until over. But here's my question to you. Is this marriage officially over when they sign the divorce papers? Correct?
What?
Supposedly, so I guess a year out, then nobody can date anybody.
That's
technically.
They're
not even separated.
Guys,
Not even
I mean,
separated.
listen. Are we going to be obtuse about this?
The reason, yes, we are going to be obtuse.
Okay, so then
We are.
yourself the
Here's the
question.
reason why.
Ask yourself,
Here's the
where
reason
does
why.
the marriage end, Trey?
Nah. Here's the reason
Because I
why.
ain't doing this do-si-do
Because
with
we
you.
are steady
Either
moving
you agree
goalposts.
with me or you do not.
No,
Don't
on
do-si-do with
principle,
me.
I
don't
agree
want
with
to
you.
go
But here's
and
the
I don't want
problem.
to dance.
Here's the problem. I'm a dance
They
tonight.
are
Here's the
married.
problem. You're right. They are married. They are. And like we've been saying, David is wrong. No one has disagreed with that. He's wrong. The question is always still in this particular situation for this particular couple, do we care? No. No one does. No one does. Not even Michelle, who's this fake hurt offended about it. What? No, she don't care. She's
I
just
think
trying to
it's
make herself
specific,
look
Trey.
good. Out of
What
the
do we care about? I think specifically we have to talk about what we care about. I think what Sean and I were talking about is that we feel like the cheating is a symptom of a larger issue of dishonesty and fakeness. So if you want to boil it down to, are we brokenhearted that he cheated? I don't think anybody on this panel is brokenhearted that he cheated. But the problem is that the cheating and the way he's handled it is a symptom of him being dishonest, probably from the moment that they were in the workout place. So if you ask me again, do I care about the cheating? I'm not sure. But what I can't relate to is being that fake for that long.
And this is going to be my problem.
We've all got a little bit of David in us.
Wait. I gotta say, I agree with you, but my problem is, it's hard for me to focus on his dishonesty when everyone is being dishonest. I put all of them in the same boat.
That's true.
All of them have been lying to our faces about a lot of things.
Speak about it. Bunch
All
of
of
vipers.
So we want to focus in on this one particular situation. Okay,
exactly.
Yes,
One little minuscule cheating.
One little bit.
He's a cheater.
One little bit of cheating. A little bit of cheating.
He's a cheater.
Yes, disciple Sean.
When the shoe is on the other foot, I feel I fear that you all won't be saying the same thing, because when you're the one doing the things wrong and then someone decides to exact revenge because they feel justified, you're not going to feel so good when it's done to you. So I just feel like it's got to be black and white with this. Like, we can understand how maybe he cheated if we knew more details, because y'all want to make him long suffering. But it sounds like he's been creeping on the low with Madison since the honeymoon. That is 2 days into their union. Listen, let me finish. Y'all been bumping y'all gums and dragging this out.
Let you finish now that you've been putting the timer on?
I've been very quiet. I've been very quiet. What you mean?
Because Easton was carrying on for 10 minutes and ran into Ramses in Love is Blind, and nobody stopped that. So my point is, and I'll land my plane.
I thought he went dancing tonight. I thought Sean went dancing tonight, but he tapped dancing on.
He dictated in a marriage, and they are married. So if he wants to exit the marriage, if they want to be separated and he wants to text Madison, I won't care. but he's still currently in a marriage, and pretending to be in that said marriage and working for the love of his white queen that he requested. So he should be vocal about what he wants, or say he doesn't want to be in the marriage before dabbling into someone else's marriage.
You know what's the worst about Sean's rant right now? Is Sean got so mad at me the day I called him obtuse. He was mad for real. He talked about he didn't want to talk to me for a day. And since then, he's been calling everybody obtuse.
Yes. Yes, I've noticed it. Wow.
Because folks be obtuse. That's the thing. People be real life obtuse. That was my point. People be for real obtuse. It's a good word because people be playing in people's faces.
Sean said he fed up. He said he wanted to see a coin in a fish in the mouth. All right, let's bring it back. Let me bring it back. Again, I'm being very facetious about this situation. Okay, so obviously we know that David's a liar and he's a cheat and he's manipulating a gaslighter and he's a basement dweller. But Michelle obviously has taken a lot of glee from this situation and very, very happy. Obviously, adjacent to that, what role, or should I say, rather, what should Madison be doing in this situation? Because he's also a part of it. Does she owe Michelle girl code to release this information that she herself has been chatting with her man? Like, should it be Madison who goes up to Michelle right now and be like, Michelle, girl code, I want to come to you as a woman. I want to let you know I've been taking it from your boy, and I'm here to confess. Is that what we're expecting from Madison? Is that what should we expect?
This is where Madison effed up, in my opinion.
Okay.
What the best thing for Madison to do is to duck and hide. That's what she needs to do, is duck and hide. However, where I got mad at Madison, where I felt away, is when she was trying to give that girl advice, knowing good and well you texting her man. Now that's where you got diabolical.
When she laughed,
she should have sat in the corner and ducked and hide, because she already know the smoke is coming her way. So the best thing she could do is try to expand the amount of time that she got to deal with this smoke on camera. But while you're doing that, why are you giving this girl advice on how to deal with a problem while you're texting the man? Now, like Nancy said, yeah, that's when you got to run a fade. Just off principle. Michelle should run that fade just off of principle that you played in my face. I don't care if I want this man or not. I don't care if I want this man or not. Don't play in my face like that. Just saying. That's where she effed up to me, in my opinion.
Okay. Sean, you want to add on to that? I want you to not defend that white queen, like you said.
Listen, I'm not defending no Madison. Look, I don't know if it's girl code, because she's already in cahoots with her friend's quote unquote husband. So she needs to not be with David. That's what she needs to not do. But we know that's not the case. So yeah, she needs to get herself together. She owes a conversation with Alan. She needs to get to talking with Alan and figure out why the hell she's over here getting late night texts from David whilst they're sitting across from each other.
I hear that. I definitely hear that. Jenny, what's going on? What is Madison? Madison obviously here. Does she owe girl code to Michelle here, or is she doing anything wrong?
No, I don't think she owes girl code to Michelle. I think they're castmates. I think she owes her husband, her spouse, the truth. That's who she needs to be telling the truth to before she gets into all this nonsense with Michelle. I think she should have kept quiet when they were all talking, but she basically said, Michelle, don't be yelling at my man. Talk to him nice, and maybe he'll give you an answer, but don't be yelling at my man. So I don't think that was right either. I think she should have just minded her business. But I mean, she's in somebody's marriage. So what else is she going to do? All I say is she owes her spouse the truth. That's who she should be confessing to and figuring things out with. Outside of that, the rest of these people are your castmates, and that's just how I see it.
Okay, I appreciate that. Latoya, talk to me. I mean, does Madison owe a girl code to Michelle in this particular situation?
No, absolutely not. I think this is one of the first seasons where I've seen them not really hang out as much. So they really just, to me, aren't building up the same rapport that I've seen between the group in previous seasons. It seems like it's a while before they see each other. So yeah, I don't think that friendship is really there. And I think she was just like playing the game and like, well, I gotta say something, when this girl is acting upset that David is stepping out. I think she was just playing the role, because I think if she were to say nothing, it probably would have looked more suspicious. And to be truthfully honest, I think that Michelle fell for it. So I think as the audience, we see what's happening. But I think as it was happening, like it looked very normal for her to like chime in and try to offer her advice. So she did what she wanted to do for her to keep the lie going.
But y'all know, white women know, like the thing about white women, if y'all grew up with them, Michelle has been on to Madison for a minute now. Don't ever get it fooled. Like white women, they hold stuff close to their chest. If you think Michelle don't have a secret suspicion about what Madison doing, she been knew. And Madison's Michelle a lot of things, but Michelle ain't dumb.
They all know Madison is a party girl. Everyone sees it. So Michelle peeped it. I'm sure she sees, they're going to the gym together all the time. He's always bringing her name up. And she's a little more friendly to her husband than Michelle is to her own husband. So of course, she definitely has a good eye on her for sure.
Okay. I definitely understand that. Definitely hear that. You know what I mean? Trey, what's your thoughts on this, man? Is a girl code owed here? Does Madison owe Michelle something here? Does she need to snitch? Self-snitch.
It's hard for me to talk on these type of things, especially when it's girl code, because are they really homegirls? I don't know. Is not really acting like it. So the answer is kind of a no, but on the show that's supposed to be homegirls, I'm like, all I know is diabolical work. This is crazy. Like, she knew as soon as she brought that text message up what was going on. Like, she knew. But, talk about that. Crazy thing is what got me, if you want to really talk about girl code, was how many of the other ladies that knew too, and keeping it quiet. If you want to talk about girl code,
KARLA.
I think KARLA is peeping some things. KARLA's a girl. I think she's dropping stuff, but trying to mind her business at the same time, because she brought. I have a question here. You remember during the episode, KARLA mentioned how David helped Michelle find her phone, helped Madison find her phone. Why wasn't Alan helping his wife find her phone? Why David do that?
Alan wasn't there.
Alan got problems too. Y'all are painting Alan as some victim, but I know how Alan get down. Alan got a lot of problems, and he contributes to being unattractive to Madison.
Why
he don't get no sympathy?
We can get to that. We can get to that in a second.
Later. But let me just chat real quick. The weakness of the sister code and of girl code and the sisterhood is there's always one dude that ends up kind of talking to multiple of the sisters, and that's what happened. David ended up being with Michelle and ended up, as we know now, being with Madison, and so that is how the sisterhood falls. And this is just a textbook example of it in real time. We get to observe it. We get to study it, case study this thing, and we get to talk about it. But no, all of them are wrong, but she doesn't owe her anything. It's just part of the game, and that's how the sisterhood falls. Is that one girl gets talked to by the same, or two girls get talked to by the same guy, and somebody is drama, like there's a lot of drama, a lot of issues, and then it ends up being a problem, and everybody falls out.
So shout out to Linda V. She said, "Did y'all notice Madison's body language at the after party? Her legs were facing David." I actually remembered. I did see that as well, and that was
yes, they did.
happening.
They're together. So, yes. They're together. And I do want to say, if there's people watching that are clocking tea from Little Black Book, and you're putting on the tick of the talk, where we also
The tickle attack.
Can you please add Lil Black Book? You don't need to add me because I don't need my name in
No,
that.
no, at her.
But add Lil Black Book when you feeling tea.
We all gonna be in this thing. Make sure you tag Pastor Sean in there too. All right.
We all cousins today. We all
That
cousins
CRB
today.
for work gonna come back like he on TikTok.
I was on the phone trying to call Sean. He not answering. Jay don't even care. Kojo sleep. I said, Dad, I'm trying to get y'all this tea. Nobody. Sean doing a whole baby shower.
CWAY is legal counsel. CWAY is legal counsel. So add her.
No. I'm like, dang, ain't nobody answering the phone. This is crazy.
With the girl code part, you know, as I believe it was Trey that said it, a lot of the ladies look like they know what's going down, but they're not saying. And to that point, they don't know each other than what, 4 weeks now.
Did you peep Karla? Did you peep Karla, Elsie?
Yes.
Karla
was holding it. Karla was trying to dry snitch and yet hold it
and
in.
It didn't work.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Why is it that all the girls are keeping girl code and keeping it away from Michelle? They don't like her. They don't like her at all. It's just like the fellas with Ike, except Michelle actually comes around. She actually does the activities. They don't like her. Or somebody would have been talking to her and letting her know. But Karla was like, yeah, let's not disturb my sound bath that I just did. But yeah, I was kind of there, but not really paying attention. But yeah, just can we get back to the good vibes, please?
Karla, like I wasn't even around, so don't add me there. Don't try to put me there as a buffer.
Karla would have had the Palo Santo, like, okay, guys, let's not do this. Good energy.
She threw in a little bit here and there. I think maybe with the girl code for Karla, she for sure has some inklings, but at the same time, are you snitching when you don't really have any factual information?
Right.
Or do you just say, "What wasn't David with you, Michelle? Wasn't he? I mean, Madison, wasn't he with you? You looking for your phone?" Madison's answer was, when it was lost, girl.
Yeah,
what?
we were all looking.
That something didn't add up there. But the girl code, it's not there in this group, only to a certain extent. They're not friends like that. They don't have that type of relationship. But at the same time, I think it's Madison who doesn't have the girl code, because if it were in the reverse, I don't think Michelle would let the guy holler at her. She would be like, no, you're somebody else's wife. Why are you doing that? Versus Madison, she's the one indulging because she's a fast ass party girl. We already know that.
Well, I think David also kind of, I don't want to, I'm not going to say it. Y'all going to jump on me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's right. He has in here. That's right.
What you think? Seduced her?
Go and say it. Go and say it.
I think David definitely saw her out. I think he definitely saw her out.
Absolutely. He said that when they started working out, he made a comment and said, "Oh, when I saw your guns or your triceps or your neck, I just knew we were going to be gym partners."
Yeah, I think he was. I think he went on this show he wanted the relationship. I think he saw early on that Michelle and him were just not going to be it. And he definitely sought out a different relationship. I think Madison was in her head still trying to make it work with Alan a little longer. At some point it did fade. But yeah.
Well, let's debate that because that's actually a real conversation. So we're going to go into Madison and Madison and Alan. But you know, that is a good point because I know Sean brought that up as well in our groups as well. So it was a good conversation about that as well. So we're going to ask that question to the panelists. But before we do, make sure, guys, if you're here, we have 400 people in the room. Make sure you're liking, you're sharing, and subscribing. I know you're loving the content today. The panelists are on one. Okay, they got their sugar levels up high, so they are on it today. So make sure you're liking, you're sharing, and you are subscribing. Don't forget that we will be back with Ready to Love in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks time now. So then the week after, we're back on a Saturday doing our lives as well. I know that Jay and Sid will be doing a live on a Friday night. So you got your weekends all sorted. Okay, grab your wine, grab your popcorn, grab whatever you got to grab. Your weekends are now going to be sorted once more again in February. So if you ain't got a date, or Valentine, like some of us ain't got one, you know February's going to be for you to sit at home on the weekend and enjoy the live panels that are going to be on the show. All right. Now we're going to discuss, obviously, Madison and Alan as well. I think there's a real conversation that needs to be had around this issue, because that comment that CWAY has made is a great question. Okay. It is a great question to ask. Is David more to blame in this situation with Madison? Did he seduce her and she was this innocent flower that was plucked from the Garden of Eden? Was it the fact that, you know, his irresistible biceps carried her along from the tower like he was Shrek and she was Fiona and took her to, you know, the land of forever? Did he just become a Prince Charming, going from the frog to the horse to a handsome brother, and suddenly a woman who wouldn't even look at him, which was Michelle, he went to another blonde, and that blonde saw all the potential of Prince Charming in him? We're going to ask this question. Is it that David seduced Madison? Is it that David seduced Madison and she was powerless to resist his charm? I want to ask that question to the panelists and see what their perspectives is. I'm gonna let Sean go first because I believe that he is the one that will be able to break this down for us eloquently. Did David save her from the tower?
I do believe David ran some game. Now, I want to preface this before y'all want to continue to put your cape on for David, because clearly he's engendered a whole lot of love and support. I'm not saying that Madison wasn't a willing participant. I'm not saying she wasn't a willing participant. But what I am saying is he ran some game and he positioned himself to be her person of choice. Just like those work husbands, he put himself, like many of us men do, in the right position in the right time. He shared a little bit of his woes and how early on he saw that Michelle was not interested in him, criticized him, and broke him down, and aligned himself with their similar interest, which is working out. And Madison, you know, maybe she's dated a David or two. I have no clue. But for whatever reason, she's definitely not happy with Alan, not feeling the sparks with Alan. So what did she do? Start to find comfort in the arms of another. So she was easy prey, easy picking, and it sounded good. And then they proceeded with their affair. Those are my thoughts.
We caping too hard for Madison, and it has to stop. Again, I like to think of things. When do people have leverage in their relationship? And from the beginning, Madison had leverage over Alan. Alan was head over heels for her and would basically do whatever she wanted him to do from the beginning, because he always saw her as out of his league. And so she had leverage over him. And Michelle had, by the time they got onto the honeymoon, Michelle had negged David so much that he was, you know, a shell of himself. Again, I hate to see this from them fellas, but Michelle and Madison had leverage. So Madison, whenever they got together, she didn't like Alan at all. She got with David. I think it was mutual, but I think it was more Madison. I think that she was so repulsed, and David was just eating up the kind compliments and the nice words that Madison was saying. And for him, it was a shoulder to crown, and that shoulder to crown became very, I guess, it became a little bit more into some infatuation, and then they had similar hobbies, and then eventually it became a thing where they started to cheat or emotionally cheat, and now we know where they're at now. But the fact that we're just saying that it was David, he got all this game and this, that, and the third, obviously he ain't got that much game because he can't even lie straight. He in the basement. The basement dweller ain't got that much game. How he looking on the Tinder or Hinge dates and stuff like that, how he taking people out for coffee, and no, he ain't doing all of that great. So we got to stop the cap. Madison know what she doing. She is the party girl. She got a lot of experience. And again, Alan is not without fault, but we got to stop that.
Go for it, Trey.
First, David is bum. He's a basic dweller line. He's the ultimate game master. Okay, we gotta make up our minds here. Okay? Gotta make up our minds. Did he seduce her? No, I do not believe so. If I remember correctly, the way they set the scene up, it was Madison who came into the gym on the retreat or vacation that he took and started that conversation. So what happened after that? They kept talking. Probably confided in one another about each other's relationships. Oh wow, I'm so in the same boat. Man, he doesn't get me. She don't get me. Oh, I get you. And one thing led to another. What we got going on is what it is. It's still poor Alan. Like he's just hanging on for anything that he can, and it's sad. There's a lot of line at this dinner table tonight, and I just hope he gets set free really, really soon. Just set this man free. Let him go about his business. Don't drag this out. Try to place blame. It's just wasn't meant to be. And I know he tried his best. I don't have too much to say on it. I know he tried his best, but Alan just let it go.
Sad times. I hear it. Sad times. Go for it, Elsid.
I think, in order to be seduced, you have to be also open to the seduction. So I don't think David had much game. I don't see much game or even guile with him. I think Madison saw him at the gym and saw that her husband is laid up upstairs and sleeping until noon like KARLA, but she ain't attracted to that. She ain't attracted to the broccoli. She ain't attracted to the mismatched shorts. She's not attracted to it. It's not the aesthetic that she would like. He's not the pretty boy. So she starts looking around. She starts looking around to see what's next. So my thing is that she was open to it. There's no way David could talk to her or talk her into a liaison without her being open to it.
I think they're both trash. I think this is the dark side of platonic relationships, because personally, I think platonic relationships can work, but there are those relationships where someone is attracted to you and they have this guise of, oh, it's platonic. We're just workout buddies. We're just, church buddies, gym buddies. He liked her. Like I said, Madison is not going to beat the fast ass party girl allegations, because it would be an immediate turnoff for me if a guy approached me and he's married. It's a turnoff whether he looks good or not. It's ill. Why are you talking to me when you didn't even finish up what you got going on over there? So I think she took the bait, if you want to call it that, but I think they both liked each other. They both were attracted to each other based off of superficial reasons. She says she likes the pretty guy gym person. I don't see where we can put him in the pretty guy category, but he meets the gym part of it. And he definitely seems like someone who would be giving the compliments and flirting with her. And she's going to yuck it up with him easily. So I would say they're both trash. They put themselves in that platonic friendship role to see what would occur. And now we have some cheating ass spouses. Excuse my language, guys.
No worries. Shout out. Let me just quickly shout out to Phil for donating 5 memberships to people as well. Thank you very much, Phil. You always appreciate it with the way that you support the panelists and the team here as well. Shout out to you, Phil, as well. Okay, who's next on my list? Yes, Latoya. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think initially at the honeymoon, ain't nothing worse than sleeping outside by the pool on a lawn chair to make you be like, look, I think I'm gonna move the other way. And then at the same time, and as I've stated before, it's really hard to come back from the broccoli underwear. especially when it wasn't like a rock hard body attached to it. So I think as they met up for the first time, it probably the game was the vulnerability of like, yo, I'm sleeping outside. And that's the game that he probably pulled when they were working out at the gym. And then again, Madison really likes that about the men that she dates. And so it was just a perfect setup starting from the honeymoon for them to kind of build, start a relationship and nurture a relationship via like working out. So that I don't think it's really much about game. It's just that, yeah, this is a tough situation. They can't talk to everybody and they got a lot to talk about or vent about.
I definitely hear that. Definitely hear that. CWAY, what's your thoughts on this situation? She might not be there. I know she was doing something. Okay, we'll come back to CWAY in a second or two. All right, so obviously for Madison and Alan, okay, they had some conversations, right? They were talking in the gym and then they had a conversation after. Alan ended up saying something which caused some division in the situation. My question is Alan anti-seductive? Is he anti-seductive? Because in this occasion here, has he caused Madison to turn off? That's what I want to know. Has he caused her to turn off with the way that he behaves, or is there something more to this situation? Because we saw what happened in this case. He literally did the very, when you're a teenager and you can't think of what words to say, so you say the most stupidest thing that comes out your mouth. You're like, you know what? I thought you're so pretty, but you know what? I just thought you was a slag. What? What? Okay. So I want to get you guys' thoughts. Is it the fact that do we feel like he's anti-seductive? And if he is, what can he do differently to provide a more seductive aura? That's what I want to know. Who would like to tackle that?
I'll go first.
Yes, sir. Please.
Again, I'm gonna give a little disclaimer. I don't know that it matters because I don't think people listen to me sometimes. They don't want to hear the nuance.
That's right, Pastor.
So I do not think there's anything different Alan can do with Madison to be more seductive or for her to like him. She doesn't like him, and there's nothing that he can say or do that's going to change that. So I don't think he should bend himself in a pretzel figuring out how to be with Madison. However, Alan has a bad way with words. And I think that he needs to choose his words better. And he also needs to, kind of advocate for himself when the time is right versus when you've messed up and said the wrong thing, and we've all done it, misspoken, then you want to add the things that happened where you were done wrong. So although I think Madison is low down, especially since she's now in some type of situation with David, he still called her transactional when it came to sex. In the midst of them doing an intimacy exercise, which sole purpose was for them to build intimacy, get closer, have a little bit more of a connection. And he missed the mark by trying to go down some rabbit hole about how he thought she was a little loose from their wedding. He can have his thoughts, but you have to know when to put those thoughts into words and speak them to the person that you're thinking those thoughts about. So he might not have been wrong, because clearly she got some type of transaction going on with David. We don't know what level, but there's a transaction going on. So he wasn't wrong, but it was the wrong timing and the wrong words with the wrong person. So yes, that's what I feel about Alan and his word choice and how he needs to be a little bit more finessing with his language.
Thank you. Who wants to go next? Is he anti-seductive or not? That's what I want to know.
But did he lie? Did he lie?
We all got to
he was telling a whole lot of truth, and I think it struck a chord.
That's not the question. Objection, Your Honor. This is not the question. This is not answering the question.
Here's the thing. Again, you see, this is when I stay quiet. I don't interrupt. But okay, your objection can stand. Your objection can certainly stand. Okay? But he still didn't lie. He did not lie.
You gonna sustain my objection, but then go on and say something?
So listen, ain't nothing about me.
Still going.
You ain't gonna hold me.
The thing is, Madison is not attracted to Alan. There's nothing he could say to draw her in at all. Everything is repelling, and he's just repelling her further. I'm sorry, it's not going to work. And what I really don't like is her even given crumbs to say this could work, that she's open, that she's, working on the, tasks with him. Just say you don't like him, you're on to somebody else, and let it go. You're obviously out hanging out with your friends all night. You don't want to be around him. You don't need an excuse to leave. So the minute he says something, now is the waterworks. I need a moment. I need to go call my friend, which is code for I'm going out hanging out with my friends and drinking so I don't have to be around you. That's all she was doing. I'm sorry, but no, there's nothing he could do to draw her in. He ain't got game. Alan's game is the jag and his coat. That's it.
Bingo.
I think it would have been okay though if she was a whore for him, and I think because he's seen how she's acted out in public when she's just having a good time and he's not getting that, and he's just getting to the point where he's kind of getting fed up with her, especially while they're playing this game where she's gonna act like she likes him or breadcrumb him like what she usually does. I mean, he couldn't really, it's just getting harder for him to hold back. But I do think it's a separate thing about he's just not the guy that's gonna give sexy, kind of similar to Camille. Camille is not the woman who walk in and be like, yo, she's sexy. That's not what Alan gives either. But again, I'm with Sean. I wouldn't necessarily have him change anything about himself. He just needs the right woman for him. So that's really what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I know nuance is very hard, but I'm gonna talk about some nuance. A lot of things can be true at the same time. Did Alan lie? No, Alan ain't lie. I'm not gonna say he did. But if the question is, what? Say your question again, Kojo, so I can get it right.
Is he anti-seductive? And if he is,
thank you. Is he anti-seductive? Yes. And I'm gonna try to say this as nice as possible because I actually like Alan. I don't have a problem with Alan. So everything I say going forward is not intended to be mean. It's just to answer the question. Alan has a lot of things not going in his favor. He has some things going in his favor. He seems like he's nice, chill. I like how he stood up for MM. But he has a lot of other stuff that are not going in his favor that I will not list out, but I'm sure you guys can understand where I'm going. And then when you have a lot of things not going in your favor, and then you add being passive aggressive, and to me, since El Cid so correctly stated that everybody's lying, I think we need to add Alan to this list, because Alan talked about he didn't mean to hurt her feelings. Yes, in fact, you did. I know Alan pulled a card that I done seen from a lot of passive aggressive men. He called her a hooker because he was pissed off and he wanted to hurt her feelings because that little selection sexing episode didn't go his way, and then he decided to call her a hooker. That is actually the truth. I mean, since we're talking about everybody's lying, that is actually the truth. He meant to call her a hooker. He was trying to hurt her feelings. Then when he saw that her feelings was really hurt, then he tried to take it back. And then he didn't want to really take it back because then when she was sad, he started gaslighting her. So it's like, Alan, no one's being truthful here. No one's being truthful. And I think Alan needs to, like we say on this channel all the time, he needs to shoot at his station. And I know y'all was acting like Madison was at his station. She's not. I've seen her in real life. She's not. But Alan seems like one of those dudes who's trying to shoot above his station and then mad that it didn't work out. Somebody will like Alan, but he needs to stay where he need to stay at. And that's the best thing that I can say. But if a girl don't like you, you can't turn around and call her a hooker because you're mad. And then try to pretend like you didn't call her a hooker on purpose. Come on now. Just stand on it, since that's the thing. Yeah, I called you a hooker because you was out there hooking. Should have just said that. We're going to have to be for real today.
I agree with CWAY 100%. We see an eye to eye. I love it. I don't give Alan any grace. That brother is 35 years old. His dog is named Luffy. I know people like him. I go to the game shop, the card shop. There's people like him all the time there, like anime, all this other stuff. Alan has a character flaw, and he's and again, everybody might like Alan, but y'all really don't give Alans in real life a chance. So I'm gonna just squash that right now. Y'all capping, and whether you say, "Oh, I love Alan," "Oh, Alan need to come over here," there's a reason why that man is in the position that he's in, and there's a reason why y'all ain't picked no Alan ever in y'all life. Y'all can look through y'all whole Rolodex of people. Alan ain't pulled up once. But to get back on subject, his aura is anti-seductive, and that's okay. He just needs to stop trying to punch above his weight class. He needs to find somebody at a nice Comic-Con convention, a nice anime convention that will love him for who he is. He don't need to change. And what we were talking about a couple weeks ago with the broccoli underwear, if he wants to wear the broccoli underwear, do that. It is what it is. But the problem is that he's too old, and you a man, and you ain't gonna get no sympathy from us, brother. You ain't try to change up your game, change up your approach, nothing. Now, he was truthful, but the problem is with a lot of the nice or good guys is that once they don't get what they want, or there's a level of resentment that comes, and he just let her have it. Yes, she's a party girl. He effectively called her a lady of the night, a Jezebel, if you will, and because she was acting like one. But you shouldn't have done that, Alan. And I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire, because you wrong. You dead wrong, and people can cape for you, but I'm not doing it today.
Damn, my boy Alan's getting it in the neck. Alan, listen, I love you, bro. Continue to do what you're doing, bro. I want to interview. Listen, I think you're great. Okay, I think you're great. Keep wearing them panties that you got on as well, bro. Okay, pause. That's not wrong.
Pull out the panda bear, because you are pandering now. So
I like Alan.
What the crap?
I like Alan. I think Alan's great.
So why you ask the question?
Yeah.
So why'd you ask the question?
I wanted to see if we can help him, because I do think he's anti-seductive. That's the honest truth.
Oh, okay. So then that's more of the truth. So you don't just think he's great. You think he has some opportunities around seduction. Excuse me.
I think he can grow in that area a little bit. You know.
Well, he needs to start with them.
Thank you, host.
No, the boxers are not a problem.
Well, they are to me. So since we're asking if there's something he could do, a small thing would be going to get some Calvin Kleins. Honestly, will go a long way.
Ain't gonna change nothing.
He need a wolf pack.
Saying that. See, when they jumping on me, talking about let the man wear them freaking goofy cartoon character drawers. Alan was in the very chat and saying he's open to feedback. I was trying to tell the brother.
If he's open to feedback, I would say 1, Calvin Kleins. 2, go with a chick that's not like super into aesthetics. So like a girl in the gym is very like a girl like Madisson is going to be very into aesthetics. People who work out 5 times a week, some are doing it for health and mental health, but a lot are doing it, they're big on the outside. You need to find somebody who's into the inside, which are a lot of people like that. Those are just my true feedback. That's my feedback.
I think he's fine personally. He just needs to work on his personality. He just needs a bit more oomph about him. That's all. A little bit more oomph, a little bit more confidence, and the way. Because sometimes even your posture can be an indication that you're a little bit more inward rather than what I'm saying to you. But there's introverted people that are there as well. I'm not saying that it has to be complete 360. I'm just saying little incremental changes. Like when he started going to the gym, it definitely helped him. You can see that. His energy shifted, you know what I'm saying? So it's just little incremental changes, you know what I'm saying to you? But again, there is a lady for him, to be fair, there is. So I'm not gonna play it like he's like that. I'm just saying that it was. I meant in the terms of when I said anti-seductive, I meant that in the terms of the way that he's operating with Madison. That is anti-seductive. That's what I really was meaning.
I think people be
I think there's fun for him.
People be sending people off, talk about he just need to be himself. He just be himself. No, yourself doesn't work for everybody. You need to be mindful. You can be yourself. I actually feel like Alan was himself.
He was.
I think
he was, and I think he's fine.
And that's fine. And I don't want nothing to come across like I'm saying that's not fine. But you are actively. I know she was matched. So like, let's take Married at First Sight out of it. In the future, you want to match with somebody that appreciates what you have to offer. And if you're a quirky dude who wants to wear broccoli underwear, then you may not want to match with someone who's in the gym 5 days a week if your body is not tea.
Man, there's plenty of people who do that all the time. There's plenty of people who are goofballs and got a baddie wife. I lived in Utah for 2 years.
Yeah, but it takes some finesse, and they ain't running around telling them they're transactional. You know, it's just you gotta pick a struggle.
You
gotta pick a struggle. And what's also a little disingenuous, and you know, I'm gonna delve into some Eastern territory because a lot of women be running around, oh, he need to find another nerd. Yeah, like Camille is over here running around telling Thomas he needs to be a thug when those two are the same. A lot of women don't want the mirror image of who they are. They want something different. Now, El Cid, don't make that face and tell me, well, I like whatever I like. Yeah, I get it. There is the one that likes themselves. I get it. I understand. The overwhelming majority does like a little different. That's why the yin and the yang go together. Two nerds, you don't see two nerds clicking up. It's usually somebody's a little this and the other person is a little of that, and there's some balance. And maybe there's overlap in some of the things that we like, but they ain't going to be too extremists. He does need to work on his word choice. I'm sorry. Even if she is transactional, calling a woman transactional, unless she literally is selling herself on the corner, is not going to really typically bode well. I'm sorry.
You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today.
That's right. He's back, people. He's back. You see that? He ditched the P and the M to come back where he needs to be. Yeah.
This is prime.
He called her a whore.
That's right.
He called her a whore on national TV, all for it to come out that she was out there doing a little hoeing. Do you imagine the pressure that's on her neck, on her head right now? She's like, "Dang, this man will call me a hoe, and I'm out here hoeing." That sucks.
Well, that would mean she's getting paid and she's earning something. So I'm sorry, I wouldn't even give her that title. I think the chat has it right, floozy. I'd give her that, but not transactional means you're being paid, and David ain't got no change to pay for that. Not happening.
I thought you was caping for David. You keep the cape off?
No, I can still acknowledge he ain't got the money to pay for it, so she's going there free. Come on, that ain't capping.
He paying her other ways. He got that ponytail cocked to the side.
He putting in that work. He like Thomas. He putting in that work. Unlike Thomas, he may be getting what he asking for.
For the record, I don't think that they are gonna last.
Oh, that's easy. You ain't got to tell us what. Alan and Madison.
No, Madison and David. No, Madison and David.
No.
They still locked in though.
They not gonna last.
They locked in for a whole year. I can't lie to you. They might make it. I used to think the same thing. I used to think the same thing about old boy from Ready to Love, but they still together. No, so
wait, who you talking about, Jojo?
Early seasons. What was his name? I think like season 2. It was what's her name? And the guy, I can't remember his name. They cheated, and then they've been together for like 8-9 years now. It's been whatever, how long it's been, 5-6 years. Whatever. I can't remember the name.
Not Reva.
Yeah, Reva and me. Yeah.
I was watching the show.
Yeah, they did Tondi Day, but they're still together.
Today.
They're still together. So I always wish them well. So I mean, he never spoke to me again. But
he embarrassed his lady at the reunion on the couch.
Ooh. He said he got a new girl called Reva.
That's the moment for the
Hey, some people define the odds.
That's a big dude. She want to be with a big dude. She want to be with a big dog.
Listen, I understand it, and David is a big dog. Okay, all right, he's a big dog, and
she don't want no puppy. She want a big dog. Okay,
maybe Alan will find solace in Michelle.
No.
Hey,
No.
you know what happened with TJ? What's the anchor person, TJ and whatever, and then
TJ Holmes,
their husbands
yeah.
and wives
No.
swap
But
too.
do Alan got money though? I don't think-
Michelle wants color.
Yeah,
Remember,
Alan got
Michelle
money.
wants color.
Hey,
Alan got money?
watch how that
Alan-
exception changes, because Alan got a Jag too and got a condo that he done fixed up.
That's
Trust me.
right.
First,
That's right.
Alan got to train Luffy. Alan got to train Luffy. Michelle will lose her mind with Luffy carrying
It
on
may
like
not
that.
be long lived, but I guarantee, I bet you they'll find solace in each other just for a little bit, even if it's for petty reasons. And we know Alan got a little bit of that petty bug.
Well,
in
he
him.
was hugging MM.
I can guarantee it.
Him. So
Hey,
maybe he gonna stay clear.
Amem's engaged to a man of color, and it's not Alan. So
I couldn't be with MM either. Let me tell you, I couldn't be with MM either. MM don't know when to stop asking questions. You up there talking about why you ain't wearing your ring. MM, shut the hell up. Now I see why Ekachi be talking to her like he do, because she's annoying.
Her and MM and Alan are one and the same.
Annoying.
Ike has a cheerleader.
How she catch a stray? Damn, not too much on.
I mean, I let y'all off the leash today, but damn.
They won in the same.
MM's been on my nerves, to be honest. I'm so sorry.
Damn.
We haven't even got there yet. With me caping for David. Okay, I got a cape now. I
guess the last bit for Kojo's question, all Alan really needs to do, he needs to have a friend group of some dogs. Like, he need to have a couple of like people who will roast him and get him to change his demeanor and what he's wearing and how he's acting, and then get to see a little bit more like live action of them doing something that's, ideally what he wants to be a little bit smoother, because it's the blind leading the blind, and that boy ain't going nowhere.
I think Madison hurting him and breaking his heart is about to unleash his villain error. I think he's about to get in his bag and start being an asshole, because he was the nice guy who
red pill
to get hurt. And I do agree, he has a little corny to him. He's a little corny sometimes. He puts his foot in his mouth most of the time, but I don't think he has to necessarily change who he is to find a woman. I think there's someone out there for him, but I think the type of woman he actually wants and desires may not be attracted to some of the things he has going on, unfortunately. I mean, it's great he has stability, financial stability, he has a home, all of that, but there's some quirks there that maybe don't bode well with a woman that he may like. But the other side of it is Madison is a little more masculine in her energy, and that's why she looks at him like he's a little B. Because I believe he was on the after party saying like he read a lot of poetry growing up and Shakespeare and all of that, so he would say romantic stuff to her, and Madison would be like, yo, that's mad corny.
She wanted a chump guy.
It's a David who's cursing at her, saying, I effing love you, B. That's what she wants, versus the things in her ear. So I think there's a woman out there for him. It's just not someone like Madison. And him and Michelle won't work either.
I think David and Madison, they just found love. What's that song? They found love in a hopeless place. They just found love in a hopeless place. And I don't know if it's going to last forever. Maybe they'll stick it out to prove a point, but I think they just found love in a hopeless place.
And that hopeless place is the basement, and she's loving it.
She showed
Exactly. You see, and that's exactly why we say, listen, it's not about the basement. It's about the person liking you. You know what I mean? She like him for him. You know what I'm saying to you? So next time you cross the basement, just remember somebody's got a basement and a gal.
So is Madison gonna be upset?
Some of us are single. Myself.
And when you got dogs, you can get fleas.
But I also think it has a lot to
At least
do
we fleas together.
It has a lot. I think it has a lot to do with her age. Like, she's 29 and she still goes out and parties. I mean, she's practically close to being like the college girl. So it's that just seems like that's still acceptable for her. But like once you get older, like you just kind of have to like operate a little bit differently. So that's why I don't think they're gonna work. I think it's fun now. Like, this is young stuff, fun stuff.
It's been a year.
Maybe. It's been fun for a little while, but honeymoon phase can last between anything from 6 to 24 months, it is said. So we've still got another year to go. We'll see how it goes. If they can make it past that, and it's looking real serious. You know what I mean? Looking real serious, and maybe they'll get married. Who knows? Okay. Shout out to Nicole Joseph. I know you were trying to get onto the membership. So welcome to the members. We appreciate you as well. D Parry, welcome as well. Ronnie Ron, shout out to you as well for joining. Sophie chats a lot. Welcome as well. J Barber Studio, we appreciate you as well. And obviously Art by Nonye as well. Welcome to the members as well. Well, okay, so we've talked about obviously Madison and Alan. I think you guys have well and truly slaughtered Alan, even though Madison was the issue. But let's focus on Juan and Karla. Oh, you know I'm gonna be petty if I'm gonna do anything else. Let's focus obviously on Juan and Karla, because obviously they had a situation, and you know, I ain't gonna lie to you. I rarely ever go down the lane of questioning man's sexuality. I rarely do. But when Juan made a comment about he could kiss the guy too, I said, this is a little bit of a problem. And then, you know, he was getting tickled by the feathers with the other woman. I said, this seems like a problem. But I want to get you guys' thoughts on Juan and Karla and where they're at. I mean, I've never seen anybody run away from a tantric sex like the way he did. He chose every exercise that would make sure that he was going to be leaning away from that girl. I want to get you guys' thoughts on Juan and Karla. How did you see it? What were some of the things that you picked up about their situation as well? Let me know your thoughts.
I think you could tell from my current emoji that I was thinking the same thing you was thinking, Kojo. I was like, he is officially Cuban Pete to me. So, I mean, he's completely not interested in her. He's talking about the food. They do seem like they're really good friends. But yeah, something about this episode to me just really gave like, yeah, he's playing. I don't know, maybe he's playing for both teams, but he definitely is like, yeah, it's not just playing for one team. So that's what I'll say about that. As far as that woman coming over, I know that was like the highlight of that scene of them doing like the woman coming in her lingerie and basically like was all over him and kind of like tickling him, for which he was not going, which further confirmed he's a Cuban Pete to me. Look, don't hate on that lady. Like, she obviously is doing her job well. I mean, she's been called on a national show to like show her services. But yeah, Juan is just not interested at all in Karla. And I just want Karla to stop acting like also there's even a chance, because I don't know if she does, but I think like when they were talking with Dr. Pia and she was like, well, I'm ready, I'm good. And I'm just thinking like, girl, he like your friend. Like, why are you even entertaining that? So I just hope that she is clear that that he doesn't like her. They'll probably be friends afterwards, and that's pretty much. And he'll probably come over to her family's house to eat some food and take a play home. But that's about it.
Latoya, quick question. Who is that on your avatar? I don't know who that is.
Jim Carrey from The Mask, when he did the Cuban Peace song, and he was like, chickity boom, chickity boom.
Oh. That's funny. Thanks for helping me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't like the whole questioning. For me, that's just me and my preference. It just gives me the term of trying to out somebody. So that's why you will find me refraining from, calling the Rainbow Coalition. But the whole thing is Juan and Karla don't want to be together. They just going through the motions. The instructor should have come over and instructed rather than participated. She could have well told Karla, just rub that man up with the pedals, but she wanted to get her pedals in there too. And my golly, we are on national television, lady. We should not need to blur your body. You should come in there clothed. I'm sorry. These are two strangers, and you're going to be filmed. The fact that we have to blur you is just too much. It's fine. You're coming in your lingerie. You wish to be comfortable. You're doing a tantric yoga session. But the fact that we've got to give you some blurred between your lines is too much. But Karla and Juan don't want to be together. They don't. So just this whole yoga stuff. And what made me more think that he really doesn't like Karla or doesn't want to be in this with Karla, every tantric yoga pose that he wanted to try out was back to back. I don't even wish to face you at all. So yeah, let the instructor put some more clothes on and just let these people just be friendly and go on to decision day and then say, I don't want to be with you. We don't need to push this as far as we're going.
Well, Karla and Juan seem like besties. They seem like they have a really good rapport. I love their energy. I really don't mind their scenes at all. I do unfortunately believe that Juan wants to be with David. David is a hot commodity on this season. He has a lot of suitors, except for Michelle. The irony. Yeah, I agree. I don't like to pull people out of the closet. However, my stance is if you come on Married at First Sight, Love is Blind, Ready to Love, and you appearing like you're playing for a different team than what you auditioned for, I feel like now it is my duty, or I'm at least allowed to question what's before me, because I wouldn't have pulled you out of nowhere if you didn't come on this screen lying. So that's just kind of how I feel. And so I hope Juan after this experience lives his truth, and I think he'll be fine. But dragging, well, I can't even say Karla's dragged, because to be honest, I think Karla reads energy, and she can read that this man isn't interested in her, and so she's not interested in him, and that's fine. But yeah. But I also want to let you guys know, you guys got to get y'all radar up, because this is why some of y'all be crying on Reddit, talk about my husband was gay after 20 years. Now, there's some of y'all who be writing in the comments, but some of y'all going to be on Reddit crying. So just letting you know, I need y'all to do a little better, because if y'all don't see what we talked about Juan, you may find yourself on Reddit. Talk about how my husband told me he's leaving me for his best friend and I didn't know. Why didn't you know? That's it.
Easton.
I don't have much to say because Karla and Juan are very forgettable. But CWAY, I have to disagree with you. We've been locked in step for most of this live, but today, right now, I have to disagree with you. I just think that he's treating Karla as a supreme friend. I think that Juan has been turned off probably when they were at the altar. But for sure, when they were talking in the bus ride at the honeymoon, and she was talking about the magic wand and being a little bit overly sexual and kind of being a little bit, I won't say grotesque, but definitely kind of a little too much sauce on in that, I guess, chip. But overall, I just think that they're just friends. They just cool. Juan is a chill person. And they'll say no at the altar, and they'll be really forgettable, and then they can move on. Juan can have his 3 jobs. Karla can move to New York and do people's hair in her apartment, and that is that.
Trey.
Listen, I think Juan and Karla had a conversation offline. They know exactly where this relationship is going, nowhere. So let's just tag the line, be amicable, and let's just be friends. That's all it is. All this rainbow coalition talk about Juan, I really think it ain't gonna amount to nothing. It's just weird to me. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand sometimes y'all radar be radaring. I get it, but I do find it strange that most of the time this happens when it seems like a man is not interested in the woman, and that's a bad thing for some reason. I don't understand it. But
let's go through the list since you guys want to put out. Who are the people that have had those accusations? Please, since that let's
we ain't got time tonight. We ain't got time tonight.
Has there been anybody who's been confirmed? This is my question.
No.
What about the Bussy Popper that was on the Nashville season? With what's his face? He wasn't gay either.
You know what? You might have a point, but we know what you just said.
There's a lot more of them. There's a whole list. I only named the people who actually doing stuff.
Who was actually confirmed?
Allegedly. None of these people were confirmed because they're living a lie.
Who was actually confirmed?
They wouldn't even let me say nothing about Shaq. They was on my neck. And I wasn't even doing that part of it. But I was barely.
But Shaq had people that came out and said he was gay, and people were still trying to argue it. There were people from his past who said he was with men, and there was women still trying to talk about, I don't think that man is gay.
And as we keep saying, what's actually been confirmed? Because it's like here says he say, she say. Doesn't even matter.
If you got rumors going around that you like men, I'm gonna go with that you like men. Easton, do you have rumors going around that you like men?
Wow.
Is there anybody who's gonna pop up and say that you like men?
Well, it's valid what she's asking though.
No, but I'm saying we live in a different day and age where people are trying to get clout by any means necessary. We just found out that the entire cast of Minneapolis Love Is Blind, everybody's creating TikToks and videos and stuff like that. We just live in a different age. Everybody's trying to get their little 15 minutes.
People
have
only
a video on
put
TikTok.
on you what they can get on you though. Like you have to give people something to put something on you.
No.
Nobody's coming out and telling people you like men and you don't like men. That's just not one of those rumors that are thrown on you. It's just not.
Look, it'd be different if it was like somebody like Carlton or something like that. Something that we get.
He admitted to it.
Yes, that's the point.
Shout out to him. At least he was the only one who was willing to be honest.
So you mean to tell me, Easton, that you'll be sitting down by one of your homeboys and he say something like, "Man, I could kiss that another man," and you just gonna, because he ain't told you that he a part of the coalition, that you just gonna dust it off your shoulders what he said?
No, you. I mean, one, I don't find it my place to question anybody's sexuality, so I'm gonna be like, hey, if you do what you want to do first and foremost. But also, I think that this show creates a precedence of, or maybe in life in general, when the woman is rejected, it's always, oh, is something wrong with him? Is he not attracted to me? Is he gay? And I think that that's really bad, and I think that that's something we also need to dismantle. But hey, I'll let CWAY keep going with her thing.
People
Question
do
it
that,
or
but
not.
that's not what I'm doing.
Question it or not, you ain't gonna sit next there and be like, "What did he say?" I mean, come on.
Look, I done heard some even worse stuff in locker room talk. I done played high school and college football. I done heard worse, to be quite honest with you. If I'm gonna be if I'm being completely truthful, but hey,
and it wasn't the one. I didn't watch the crazy season last season, but wasn't one of the dudes in Colorado gay too? I mean, this is every season. Which one? The one with the twigs?
She talking about Navajo boy. She talking about
oh yeah, he said he kissed the guy but didn't like it.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't want to hear nothing else.
Absolutely
it's somebody
not.
every season.
Wait a minute. But he openly came out and said that, first of all.
Because
he
shout out to him for being honest.
And going to your point that you're saying that we're in a new day and age, because we are, which is even more reason why I'm going to openly ask, because we wasn't doing that back in the day, but I'm asking today.
Y'all wasn't doing that back in the day?
No,
well, we're not asking.
We're
not asking. We're saying he's part of the coalition. I mean, we're not asking him. We're not asking if. People are placing him there when the man has not said that's where he is. It's okay for Karla to ask. There's nothing wrong with asking, but to just blanketly place him there because he doesn't want to be with Karla or because he wants to. I mean, culturally, there are men that kiss each other on the cheeks. Culturally, there are people who behave in a different manner, but the man is not taking me to his boudoir. I do not think I need to question what he does or who he does in there. But that's just me.
I think people should be questioning a little more, because that's how you get caught up, especially in places like DC, Atlanta, and Houston. Ladies, don't worry about these men's feelings. If you see something, say something. If they look like they popping,
you hit them with the MTA slogan.
If they look like they popping pussy, you need to ask them. You need to ask them. It's very, very important. Don't be trying to be polite. If you see something, say something. Even if you see it in your friend, you see your friend dude look like he popping pussy, say something. Not to him, but tell her.
Yep.
Oh, CWAY, dang. Not you gonna tell the girl, not your friend?
Yeah, because some of the girls, there's some girls, especially the ones who be in this chat, who act like they don't never see what I be talking about, and that's how they gonna get caught up. But I bet you they got a friend who do see it, see something, say something. That's it.
Well, I think I'm gonna lean into what the ladies are. Well, mainly CWAY and LaToya. I'm gonna trust their instincts because they're dealing with more, men in a relationship capacity. So I'm gonna lean into whatever they say. But what I will be comfortably speaking on.
Objection.
Are you done? Because you're gonna take us around the world in 90 days, Carmen Sandiego, telling us about Germany and men kissing on their cheeks and all this other stuff.
Exactly.
Objection.
I've been around the world and yay. Okay, we get it. But Juan ain't talking about kissing no man on no cheek. He's talking about dancing suggestively like KARLA was doing on her IG page where Dr. PIA called her out. And he would say his response, this is what's weird. It's beyond him not being attracted to her. Sorry. I hope that wasn't a Freudian slip. It was the fact that his response when asking, are you bothered by the fact that KARLA was dancing on IG with some dude? He was like, well, I would have danced with him too if I knew him. It's like the responses, it's just not, when something just doesn't click, it doesn't click. It's either it don't bother me. KARLA can do whatever she wants to do. I happen to know that guy. That's her friend. Whatever the reasoning is. But if that's your go-to, you would have danced with him too. It's just a little. It's something to be questioned, right? And lastly, he's very unserious. He's completely unserious. They're doing the exercises. It's like he's being a goofball. It's like he's acting like you don't have to be sexually attracted to her, but he's like, oh, I want to try it. And then he's like being a goofball like he's a teenage kid. It's definitely given very much not experience with women or not comfortable with that with KARLA, because everything when it comes to things of trying to get close with her, he just plays it off. Or he's like, oh, I've been so fast sexually with all the women in my past, but now with my wife, I want to take it slow. All right, bro. That is code word for I just don't like her, or I just don't want to do it. Like we know what that is. It's like now you're going to just pump the brakes all the way with your wife when your wife is like, I want a little more intimacy. Hold my hand, for crying out loud. Give me a hug, cuddle with me. And he was like, we sleep in the same bed. We tell each other secrets. It's like, bro, if it's not that, whatever, I'm not going to get into that. But at the end of the day, it's given like he's not like, I don't know. He just has either limited experience with women or he's just totally grossed out by KARLA, because there's not a lot of options here.
Maybe the lack of job and place to stay, is drying them up or whatever it is.
No, not it.
Maybe that's it. That sometimes for some people it dries them up real quick. No job, no.
Sounds good.
What does he have to be dried up? He's a man. Exactly. We don't have something that's dried up that gets dried up.
I was just using that because that's the
wrong term.
Exactly.
No, I'm saying that's what people say. That's what people
don't even need to be put out because he ain't got nothing to be dried up.
Exactly.
And the last time I checked, a woman's employment is not what's turning me on sexually.
I was
That's
just
not. That's not doing it. It's when I'm ready to get down with the get down. It's not. Oh, what kind of job she got? Oh yeah.
Well, maybe Juan's a different person. He
Wow.
saw his mama
Sorry.
working. He saw his mama working.
Bro.
Maybe he
Okay,
wants
he
a hard.
sounds like he's
Maybe he wants a hardworking woman. Maybe that's what he wants.
Yeah, and who normally likes people to be hardworking? I don't need my woman to be hardworking. Sorry,
His dad
I don't-
did. His
not
dad
in that
did.
way.
His dad did.
His dad did.
And that's also a problem. Because he wants to duplicate. He wants his mama. He wants his mama to be his wife.
Wild work.
He want a masculina?
No, he's just not attracted to her. He's just not attracted to her. But he sees Karla as his homeless, jobless sister. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's given he can't say no without him being someplace else.
Don't
I
reduce
mean,
it
that's
to
what
that,
it's given.
Elsa. That's very
That's what it's
reductive.
given.
That's very reductive. We have given many other examples outside of him just not being attracted to her. He's done a lot of things that are questionable. It's not just he doesn't like her. It's how he behaves in their relationship, their dynamic, what he does. It's not just, oh, he doesn't like her, so now he's something else.
Yeah, and that stuff has been brought to the forefront, but people are going to try to minimize it to something, or he just doesn't like her. Okay, well, we're going to have to agree to disagree. And I do want to put it out there for somebody leaves me a comment that's going to make me want to cuss them out after the show. There's nothing homophobic about this conversation. We have a right to discuss things that are before us, all the aspects that are before us in this conversation. And to me, if they don't have a connection, and I think it's because honestly he doesn't like women, that's relevant. I don't give a F that he doesn't like women. I would actually prefer that if he doesn't like women, he be with men. I would love to see him with a man. I think they would be really cute. I don't have a problem with that. My problem is I want you to live in your truth, whatever that is. Now, if your truth is that you like men and women and then you just happen not to like Karla, okay, that's fine. But there's something to it. That's it.
So I'll add another thing so we can veer off of the pulling him out of this closet, supposedly, allegedly. Someone in the chat put maybe he likes white women. I think that could be a plausible. I could get with that. He might be on the David train with wanting his blonde hair, blue-eyed queen. It could be that because he did say he's never dated a Latina woman before. You know, he normally dates other.
So maybe we got to pull him out the white women closet. Maybe that's the closet he got to
be it.
Closet.
That could be it. And they said in the chat, and I think that could be another very plausible thing. He's still awkward as hell.
Who's attacking y'all? Let me let y'all know because I don't even know how to say this person's name, but this person gets on my nerves every time I'm up here anyway. If you say something in the chat and I see it and I read it, then I'm going to respond to it. I'm not even mentioning your name. Now, you think you're in the chat, you get to be anonymous. I see your comment. If I don't like it, I can respond to it, just like you can respond to me. You're not anonymous. So if you say something I don't like, I'm going to respond to it. The F you think this is?
Isn't that a Bobby Valentine
No,
song?
No,
they just said, all they said was,
I'm very controlled. But my
they just said you was wrong. That's it. That's all it is. You ain't gotta do that.
No. I'm responding to people talking about. I'm not heated. I'm letting you know that if you say something in the chat, you will get a response. So if you have a problem with that, then don't say nothing directed towards me. Because I clap back. Some people don't. I do. Just letting you know.
Gotta be above it. Gotta be above
All they
it.
said was you
Oh, I'm
being
not above
homophobic.
nothing.
All they said was you was being homophobic. CWAY, dang. That's all they was
I'm
doing.
not. I don't. Easton, are you not listening as well? You want to get something too, Easton?
I don't think she was at all.
No, that's a woman.
No, Easton wants to smoke too. Don't get me activated.
Whispering words of advice.
Easton, don't get me effing activated.
See, wait, can't even hear you, Coach. You got to come on camera. She's too activated.
Gotta rise above it. All right, cool. Let's move it on then, because obviously we've done Juan and KARLA. I think we've we've trounced them enough. All right, let's talk about the final couple because it's Akechi and Imem, and to be honest, we're sick and tired of them anyway. But obviously Akechi and Imem, Akechi took her to the ice cream parlor, played 21 cards, and refused to take her to homecoming. He got another chick over there, that's why. So she obviously called Dr. Pia. And Dr. Pia was like, "Oh no, you're not together. You're not in the same. No, you knew they weren't going to be in the same house, my babe. I don't know why you was proposing."
Akechi. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Akechi and Imem. And I was like saying Dr. Pia knew that this wasn't going to work. Dr. Pia knew that them going in the same house was not going to bring the results that needed to be brought. But alas, that's what we saw from them too anyway in this episode. But I want to get you guys' thoughts. What's your thoughts on Imem and Akechi now? Because obviously we've got to a point where Akechi was playing cards with her, you know what I'm saying, to you, and doing 21 and running off to Houston. What's your thoughts?
I think Dr. Pia and all pick-me's need to be banned from giving advice because she is continuously giving horrible advice. Finally is standing up for herself, finally is asserting boundaries, finally is not trying to chase after a man who doesn't like her, right? And she made a stance where if he's not reaching out to me, I'm not going to reach out to him. That's the appropriate way to handle somebody like Ike and what he's doing. And here comes Dr. Pia talk about, oh, you're not going to check on him to see if he made it. Who gives a F if he made it or not? I don't. Why are we advising her to do that? You already put her in a dangerous position, even trying to have this man who tried to slander her in her career even move back in the house to begin with. And now she's trying to assert her boundaries. And here go Dr. Pia. Dr. Pia is dead wrong. Now, I already said Imem was getting on my nerves, so I'm not going to repeat that part. But I'm glad that she told Dr. Pia, no, I don't trust his response. And I'm not reaching out to him if he's not reaching out to me. So that's my opinion. I'm glad Imem did stick with her guns on that, because Dr. Pia literally is trying to project her pick-meism onto others, and she should stop doing that.
Stick to her guns. She was so thirsty to go to PV homecoming with that man that don't like her.
But when he didn't take her, at least she was saying, I'm not going to be texting him. Look, I'm not saying that anything she does, I'm not saying MM is where I want her to be. All I'm saying is that she's making progress. And while she's making progress slower than what I would want to, Dr. Pia should not be aiding and abetting her to go back to a bad situation. That's what I'm saying.
CWAY, I held Alan's feet to the fire, but we're going to hold Imem's feet to the fire. Now, Imem is, again, she is annoying. She can come across a really thirsty. This is a rare episode that we don't get to see Akechi be too bad. He got plenty of issues, but I'm saying he ain't overtly calling her an a-hole. He wasn't at a 10 or a 12 that he normally is. To me, he was a little bit more tame, and Imem continually wanted to see that man or be around that man in his presence, up to the point where she was kind of egging him on to invite her to homecoming. She came across extremely thirsty. I'm disappointed in her supremely for that reason, because it's like when you tell your friend, oh girl, don't go back to him because he cheating, and she go back to him. No, you go ahead and do that. I can't, there's nothing I can do from here on out.
I'm talking about after that. I was referring to what happened after all of that happened. Dr. Pia was trying to have her text him. And I'm saying at least I'm glad that she didn't do that, is what I'm saying. Okay,
I'll say that's fair, but she still was upset that he didn't text her when he made it to homecoming, that she ain't get no communication line from him.
Because Ike is a liar. Ike said, no, I'm just going to be fair here. I don't really like neither one of them, to be honest. So Easton, I'm not caping for neither one of them. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Ike said to her at the kitchen counter or wherever the hell they were, I'm going to text you in the morning, in the evening. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And he lied. He's a liar. Is MM annoying? Yes. Does she miss social clues? Yes. Is she being thirsty? Yes. Does she agitate me even? Yes. Is she agitating Ike? I'm sure. Yes. But Ike, if you're going to say that you're going to do something, you should do it.
But nothing in his demeanor so far has shown you that he's he's going to tell you the truth. He ain't done nothing. He hasn't done anything up to this point to give you any inclination that he is truthful or fair or going to do anything that he said he's going to do. So you're going to be like, oh, today is the day that he's going to be truthful. He going to love me and he going to text me back. No, you falling right back in the trap. And so that's why I don't give MM just the same way I don't give Alan any more. I don't give him any sympathy. Nope. We done told you. You keep falling back into the trap, and to the depths of wherever you got to go, there you got to go, because we can't play around with you.
She's playing along, Easton. She's playing along. You know, MM knows from when he ain't gonna come back to the place. She moved to her place. She's playing along, because it's like he finally plans a date. And compare, you know. Comparison is a thief of joy, but I'm going to do it this time. He finally plans a date. The ice cream shop, fine. She likes to go out and eat ice cream, but I mean, come on. You're going to play cards. You're going to want, how are we learning about each other? Because he says we want to just be. I want you to learn so much about me. And all you're telling me is you're going away for the weekend. I am agreeing with CWAY. I am glad she stood her ground and said, I am not contacting him. He is supposed to initiate the contact. And she stuck to what she said she was not going to do. And I'm so glad she didn't contact him. But the only grace I'll give Dr. P is that she may not know that was the boundary that MM set within the relationship. That's what I would give Dr. P that. But to keep on pushing them together, I felt as a very lack of understanding as to why, even though they just had that meeting, they're not going to go live in the same close quarters. I think it was more a rush of y'all have got to get back together. Too much of a rush for that. It's not going to work. It fizzles out. Just, you know, give the people some sort of information for their next relationship. This is not going to work. You know, I did not like the MM whole, well, I'd like to meet your mother, no, with the ring. I think she was just pointing out to us how much he's checked out. She was just listing it for us, but that's just my opinion with it. Can she be annoying with it? Yes, she can. But again, you know, she's just poking, and seeing how far she could actually get him to slip that mask completely off like he did at the dinner. But it was also very telling to me when the men got together. I don't go to the men's gatherings. Who is Ike associating and talking to? Not even the men. So Ike is not here for the show. He's not here for the marriage. He's here for the show. Let me stand correct.
Well, don't you think that's weird that the man that literally moved to a city that he had no business in just to get on this show is this checked out of the show? That shows you how damaged of a man Ike is. Like, he doesn't even know what he wants for himself, let alone another woman. You travel to a whole new location to not even make the best out of your situation. He could at least pulled a David and been lying the whole time. He can't even lie. That's crazy to me.
We haven't heard from Sean, Jenny, or Latoya or Trey, so let me bring it to you guys. Sean, you want to get it, or Jenny, or you want to go first? I'll go for it, Sean. Your mic's open.
Oh, okay, I'll go. Yeah, unfortunately, you know, listen, and I don't know if Dr. P is on the internet watching the YouTube streams, you know, but I am disappointed in some of her advice. I don't know what happened, because she was really so crystal clear and laser focused in previous seasons that she was on, but this season I'm sorry, we've given Dr. Pepper smoke in the past. We've given Pastor Cow smoke in the past. You know, Dr. Pepper is she's non-existent. We're going to call her Ghost Pepper because we don't even see her no more. But Dr. Pia keeps doing these things. Why are you sending her on some wild goose chase to text Ike when he is showing no interest in her? You've seen it for yourself. And the part that really is sending me is the fact that this dude called her an a-hole. And no one, and it's known. So I don't want to hear production. Maybe they see everything and it's known. Pastor Cal called him out about it. And Dr. Pia is up on the phone talking about, oh, you haven't heard from him? But he accepted your apology. What? It's like, what are we doing and where are we at? It's like, where's his apology to her? And this fool shows up playing a game of 21 at some ice cream date, like we're 16 again. And it's like he's still playing games. You know, I do want her to want better. And I think similar to what Elsid said, she must be playing some game where she's trying to draw him out and show, you know, hey, I'm working, I'm working at this. I want this marriage, because she back to calling him my husband again, because I definitely heard my husband is not here for the process. I need her to stop. Just stop it. Don't waste your energy. Don't waste your energy trying to get in the mud with him to try to show him or out how he is so mean and disingenuous. Leave it alone. You should not want to meet his mother for what? So you can drill her about why he's a jerk? Don't waste your time. It's pointless. So I just need her to, tuck in her shame, understand that it was, a bad situation. Stop trying to either make it work with him or trying to expose him to the world. Don't waste your energy. We all see Ike for who he is. Don't try to get down in the mud with him if that's what you're doing. I just need her to just go cold turkey, leave him alone, cut off the supply. If he's texting you, good. It's for your energy. It's good. You shouldn't even want his energy around you. Leave him alone. That's what I just want her to do. And I do love how she stood up for herself when Dr. Pia sent her to the wolves to talk about text him and check on him. Are you kidding me? First of all, that's the worst thing you could do with somebody that's bothered by you, is to go check on them. Hey, just checking in. That's like shameful. Don't have that horrible advice. Horrible. And I'm done.
While we're talking about Dr. Pia, I was a little disappointed that she's giving out therapy sessions while she's also drinking. And she had on the same clothes, so she was going to different apartments on the same day. So I'm just kind of like, what's going on with that, first off? But in terms of I'm glad that she finally stood her ground with the therapist, because she was open and all of that. But she's like Alan. She's like, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid anymore. Like, I'm over it. We're not doing it. He doesn't want to be around. It seems like she's not liking him anymore. So I'm really happy about that. I just don't have much to say about them, because they really didn't do a lot of screen time, except for, the ice cream date was just a little bit childish, especially while she's wearing, the shoulder pads, like the outfit, like she should be going to like eat a steak or something like that. But again, like, that was just his effort, like low effort, to just like show up for screen time because he probably had to, rather than it be valuable. So I'm just over them. I'm ready for them to be done. I'm ready for him to leave my city, because let's be honest, we're gonna see Ike on another reality show. This is not his last one. I don't know which one, but this is not his last one.
He definitely leaving Chicago, though.
Exactly.
I think Ikechi, or excuse me, I think is just building her case. I think she's doing it for the cameras. I really don't think she is interested in him anymore, but similarly to Michelle building her case, but Michelle's a whole nother drama. But in terms of making sure you produce, everyone is producing their image on this show. And I think wants us to see that Ikechi is low effort and basic as hell. So when she comes on here, she's going to be dressed. She's going to fulfill her contractual obligations and go from there. I mean, I think I agree that she sometimes can be a little much in asking certain questions, but I think she's doing it to prove a point. Her saying, oh, I want to see your mother. That girl was not going to Houston. She just wanted to see what his response would be so y'all can catch it on camera. He's running away, going to Houston to go hatfish some people, and that's just what he's doing out there at homecoming. I also feel like Ikechi is very low effort. For this man to say, let's dial it back and start dating, and you take her to an ice cream shop and you want to play cards, even the way he was dressed just seemed like he doesn't care. He looks exhausted. He's exhausting me. He just very low effort. For him to say he wanted to date, where was the gesture of like flowers, of courting her? In reality, he wants to take a step back and stop being with her. So just say that rather than saying, oh, we're going to just start dating again. You take her to an ice cream shop. You're not wearing your ring, which, I mean, I think she called that out just to prove a point because she looked at him many times, looked at his hand many times and said nothing about the ring, but wanted to make sure to bring it up on camera. So I know it can be annoying as the viewers, but I just think she's just trying to play the game since he's already tried to paint her in a certain light. She's going to make sure she's covering her bases and make sure she's saying he's abandoning the relationship. I feel like he doesn't care. I feel like he'll get mad at me if I call him or he'll get aggressive with me, which, hey, do what you got to do because he called her all types of names and painted her in such a way that was so negative. I can't even be mad at her. I feel like, I mean, she's paying him a little dust. He started asking her questions, and that's what pissed me off. This is the same man that said, I want to see the art in you. I want to see the art. And you take her to an ice cream shop and bring out your little raggedy cards. Where is the effort in the date? Where's the art in that, Mr. Creative? What's going on there? You took her to just foolishness. And then you're asking her, what brings you joy? This the same raggedy question you brought out from the honeymoon? He asked that same question when they were eating on the balcony and it started raining. Literally the same question. He has no effort at his big age. This man is over 40 acting like this. It's very disturbing. But speaking of Houston, I went and looked back to see what guys were filmed in Houston because he got rejected so many times. That was the season when Zach and Gil were on there. Zach was with Michaela and Gil was with Merla. So they chose those two black men over Ike. So I just wanted to point that out because they were a hot mess on that season as well. But Ike is still, is Ike worse than Zach? Damn, that's a tough one. But anyway, that's all I have on them. And I'm still
Ike with Michaela. Oh my gosh, the danger, the harm.
She would have got him together, and I would have been that would have been violence. That would have been real violence, and we don't
call the case. So please, thank God.
Yeah,
somebody would have went to jail. Honestly, seriously.
I guess two quick things. As far as Dr. P is concerned, yeah, I was having a lot of concern about what she was saying to MM. I was like, why are we doing this? And then I remembered, and this is just the nasty truth of the situation. Listen, these experts, they are employed by MAFs and the production company that they represent. Their job is to keep these couples together no matter what, as much as possible. Even if it's not in the best interest of the couples themselves. Honestly, that's why Dr. Vivian left. She got tired of that. I think the whole Chris and Paige situation, she was like, no, this is not right. This is abuse. We got to get this woman out of here. They was like, no, let's try to keep it together. And she was like, you know what? Enough of this. She bounced. But as far as the experts concerned, they are being paid to do exactly what they're doing, whether we like it or not. Unfortunately. Now, I agree with Latoya and Jenny. She's playing the game. She's playing the game. She's building her case. She's trying to make sure that Ike is putting in a certain light, which she doesn't have to do. Ike is doing that himself. She really got to lift her finger. But in the process of it, she is proving a few things that Ike said about her true. Like, I'm like, baby girl, stop. When you ask all these questions, like, ooh, stop. Like, it was wearing on me. And I like MM, but it was wearing on me. I was like, girl, don't do this. And, yeah, her trying to go on a homecoming with him. I was thinking like he doesn't want you to go. If he wanted you to go, he was like, hey, would you like to go? I'm going to homecoming. No, he didn't want you to go. He just let you know that that's where he was going to be because he's probably contractually obligated to do so. Yeah, he made promises. Well, his exact words was, see where you was right, but his exact words was, would you like me to call you, text you in the morning and in the evening, blah blah blah. See, I'm very specific about words. I'm wording like his exact words was, "Would you like it?" She's like, "Yeah, non-committal." So guess what he did? He gave a non-committal action. He didn't text her at all. Are we surprised? No. This relationship is done. They're just dragging this out to the end. We probably gonna see in a couple of weeks what happens and what don't happen. I don't even know if he's even gonna come back for the little housing trip they got to take. The little getaway. Is he gonna come back?
Oh,
does
yeah.
Ike get here for good?
He's there with the divorce papers. He's there.
Oh,
right.
That's probably the smartest thing I've heard.
Yeah, with the divorce papers, he's such a petty man. He's so petty.
Now, you know what? You ain't right, but you know what's gonna be funny? If Emma ain't gonna sign them, she better sign them.
She already got her face turned up to say no, so
she better look the papers over. I ain't signing with that crazy man.
If she has any opposition to signing them papers, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna feel so vindicated because
you don't woke up, Easton. You don't woke up.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I had to.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Let me crystallize this. Let's crystallize this.
Do we got to?
If that man come through, and say, hey, you know what? This is not working. I got some divorce papers here. Let's just go ahead and end this now. M says no. I will let it go. She say, hold on, let's get somebody to look over this to make sure everything's correct. Then I'll sign it. But if it's anything beyond that, oh no, I'm giving MM smoke. Why are you hanging on to this then? Why are you hanging on?
She's not doing it for a look because everybody want to give her a pass and be like, oh, it's a look, or she's just trying to save face for the show. No,
just say you better.
Did you see how disrespectful that little man is? You are very disrespectful little bald head man.
Hey, you should get away from that. She should get away from that.
Divorce papers down there in Houston and come back and bring the divorce papers
to the couples retreat, which is supposed to be a place of peace. He's disruptive. Listen, we know he's petty because most people over 30 got a little lactose intolerant, and he took her to an ice cream date. So he wanted her to get the BGs, and now he's about to serve her a divorce.
Listen, one of the best things I ever had, a girl took me to Cold Stones. I loved it, but that's just me. Ain't nothing wrong with an ice cream date. It's just wrong for me.
I can't do nothing.
I need to get a lactate first before I go to anybody's. I do like it, but I need a lactate first.
That's fine.
I mean,
the only reason why the ice cream date was a problem because it was Ike taking her home this ice cream date. That's the only reason why.
He's petty. He knew better.
Nah, he seems like he has real problems, like deep-seated problems, because he also just seems awkward. And like, again, there's a reason why he doesn't want to be around the guys as well. So it's a difference. We're talking about MM and how she acts, and yes, she has her stuff, not gonna lie, but this dude doesn't even want to be around the men. And so this just lets me know that he's just been running away from accountability and his destructive behavior, and whoever is his friend or hangs around him is enabling his behavior, because he's just going to run off to the next city and do this again.
And for him to come to this was in the previews, he showed up at the 1 month trip or whatever and served her the papers. For him to do that, I'm not making if I were MM, I'm not making anything easy for him. You're not going to come there and embarrass me and I'm going to sign your little raggedy papers. You got typos in your book. I don't trust any document you're putting in front of me. No way. I would do this. She literally looked at him and said, I'm not signing that, because he wanted an out right then and there. and he doesn't deserve such an easy out. Of course, she's going to divorce the man because she moved on. But in that moment, he was trying to embarrass her again in front of the group. And at that moment, I would have had to get him together. There's no way. We're going to be tussling because he's sassy for doing that in front of her. I would have just ripped it up and said, yeah, you could email it to me.
You caping. But okay.
Absolutely. I'm team
listen, everybody want to live in their petty. Everybody want to live in their petty life. It's all good, you know.
Yes, correct.
Okay. but email it to me. Mem's petty is, or if Mem just comes across as thirsty, and if she has any objection, if she's not like, okay, well, I just need to make sure that the legal ramifications of this is good, then I think that this is another point for her of being like, hey, I'm fighting for a relationship. And again, just because Ike's problems are overt, I think all of them got issues. Every single one of the castmates has issues. Ike's is very overt, so it's easy for us to turn our eyes and be like, oh, Ike did this, this, and this. But the same way Alan is his problem, Alan and MM are one and the same. Their issues are very covert. It's probably dealing with the opposite sex. And to me, I'm holding them both accountable because we done told them, and y'all too old to be acting like this is y'all first relationship. And no, not gonna happen today.
I wouldn't.
Okay, well, listen, I think we've reached a great place. I think it's time that we bring this to a shutting end. It's been great. It's been wonderful. It's been amazing. And the panelists have been absolutely, extravagant with their particular perspectives. Sean, if you could give us the benediction, and we will make our way out of this Colosseum. Thank you.
You're killing me, Kojo. All right, folks. I think we had a good night. We didn't have too much tussling. Well, depending on who you ask. I think we learned a few solid lessons, starting out with, good old Thomas and Camille, know your worth and reciprocity. I think those were key takeaways in that conversation with our dynamic with those two. Next, we have Alan and Madison. Listen, again, if you don't want me to know, talk to me, but please don't go around and talking to somebody else before you exit the relationship. So, and also choose your words, choose your words. There's things that we can say and some things that just need to reside in your head and not be spoken out loud. So choose your words wisely. Then we have David and Michelle. We have multiple schools of thought on this, but I lead with be who you are, not based on who they are. Be yourself, be honest in your relationship, don't lie. And most importantly, don't drag other people into your mess to be witnesses, to be spokespersons for you. If they have not consented, make sure you get their agreement before you throw things out for people to defend you in a lie, but most importantly, no need to lie when you're grown. Be honest, be upfront in your relationships. Last but not least, we got KARLA and JUAN. Look, be serious in your relationships, and if you don't like them, that's fine, but be serious. Take people seriously. Don't play, don't tiptoe around what it is. If it ain't, just say what it ain't, but don't try to play and make it be like what it is when it ain't what it ain't. All right? That's a lot of words, but I think y'all get what I'm saying. Last but not least, Amendment Ike. Hey, look, ice cream is good for some, but it's not good for others. And especially not good. It's not a dish well served when there's really no honesty in it, when there's no fun in it, when there's no real connection in it, when you just want to play games with it. Be clear, be transparent. And then when somebody shows you who they are, Maya Angelou tells us these sage words, believe them, don't go back, don't go looking for a crumb or anything else. Once they show you who they are, believe it. Back to you, Coach.
Thank you very much, Sean. Listen, audience, it's been a wonderful, 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 wonderful time. Listen, it's been great. I can't lie to you. I've enjoyed it. It's been fun. It's been enigmatic. and certainly an eclectic panel of voices here as well today. Listen, look, we're gonna be back again next week Thursday for another enthralling showdown of Married at First Sight. Hopefully we'll get to hear more about what David and Madison have got up to. Hopefully they get caught, you know what I'm saying, so we can see if Madison really is going to be the one that's going to confess, or, you know, is she gonna confess, or is she gonna dig her heels in like David did? You know what I'm saying, we'll never know until we see it. And we will be back obviously as well next Saturday for Ready to Love. That's going to start as well. And look out also, because we're going to do Lovers Blind Lives after every 5 episodes, so that's going to be another jam-packed February for you guys coming up as well. So listen, don't do anything I wouldn't do out there. There is a lot I'm not trying to do these days, so you should also follow that suit. Okay, all right, less is more. Less is more. Less is more. Turn to your neighbor and say less is more. Okay, all right, listen, we're going to see you again very, very soon. Much love, much appreciation, and don't forget as well to like the live on the way out. God bless y'all. Little black book, you know what time it is.